Let's do this. Get ready for the Dirt Life Show.
Woo-wee. Yeah. Happy Monday night, everybody. We would like to welcome you to this, hour later, hour behind Dirt Life show tonight. So it's 7 o'clock in Arizona, but all you guys in California, you're still enjoying that 6 o'clock time for us. Actually, we want to ask you guys what you guys think would be the best time for we should actually start. Like, I don't know, daylight savings time sucks, but I feel like Arizona is the only cool state that doesn't have to observe any of that. So, like, it gets dark at a normal time here, but it totally gets dark way too early in Southern California now.
Right. Everybody else is having to play the clock game or whatever.
Well, just think about it. Like, you're going home at 5 o'clock, getting off work or whatever, and it's already dark in California.
Yeah, that's pretty frustrating.
All right, so you guys are going to have some fun with us tonight. Casey learned how to use the mixer and put some of these –
I'm not a pro.
Yeah, but it's going to be hilarious, dude, to see what's happening tonight. So we're going to have some fun with some sound effects tonight with you guys. Tell us what you guys think. So like I said, thank you very much for joining us on this Monday night. We really appreciate it. We have some really, really fun stuff planned today. So we hate daylight savings time. Everybody does, actually. But we wanted to know a few different things. We're going to talk about how your guys' weekend was at the dunes. Basically, I don't know if you want to call it like.
I need help.
Oh, hold on. So we got to start. We got to start our Facebook watch party. So you guys can start your Facebook watch parties too. Share us with your friends, and we can all have a little bit of fun together. While we're talking about social media, you can always. Anytime you can get a hold of us through social media at The Dirt Life Show. Instagram is the best one, but we're also on Facebook and Twitter. So feel free to reach out anytime. We've had so many messages coming in, and it's just really, really cool to see everybody's stoke on the show and all the fun stuff that we have coming up, man. The last few months we've been working so hard on it, and some of the stuff is going to be really, really cool. Like a few shows towards the end of the year here are going to be awesome. And man, next year we have so many cool plans, So some of our hard work is paying off. So thank you guys for being the lifeblood of the show and telling us what you guys think, because you guys are making a big difference in how the show operates. So we really appreciate it. Interact with us as much as possible. Jump on Facebook right now and hang out with us. If you can't join us on the live shows on Facebook or YouTube, they are every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, so California time. But we're thinking about maybe putting it back about an hour later, because it's a little late in, Arizona. And when it gets to be 9, 10 o'clock when we have our guests on, if they're an East Coast guest, it gets to be pretty hard for them, especially when it's on a Monday night. So
yeah, we don't want to upset the East Coasters.
Yeah, exactly.
There's lots of them.
We got to keep them all happy, dude. So let us know what you guys think. If you guys would be down, all you guys from California, chime in and let us know what you think. If it's cool if we start an hour earlier. So it would be 5 o'clock California time. So it would help out the East Coast guys a lot. So we'll want your feedback on that. So tonight we are going to talk about all kinds of stuff. Like I said, we're going to talk about how everybody's weekend was at the dunes. We're going to talk about the new Gas Troy Lee Red Bull team, Justin Barsha, Michael Moseman, and I think they got a couple other guys, but that team looks super cool. So a little bit of moto for you there. Tanner Carew is going to call in again. He's a professional football player, but he's just super into moto, so it'll be cool to talk with him a little bit, because he has some fun stuff that he's been doing. So we can't wait to talk with him and see what he says about some endurocross that he went to, some rides that he's gone on, some relationships that he started, and keep it going with that moto vibe. And then Steve Westfall from Rockstar Energy Husqvarna. They just won the you're going to go with which one's the applause? This one?
Mm-hmm.
Woo! Congratulations on the championship.
Yeah, Steve.
So Scuba Steve's going to join us in a little bit. He's going to talk to us a little bit about his year 2020, how it was all weird, but they still came away with the championship. And then secondary to that, he's going to talk about a little bit of the stuff that's going to be going on in 2021 for the Rockstar Energy Husky team. So it's going to be cool to talk with him. And we have a new segment coming up today that I really you and I talked about it a bunch, Case, is getting like more of a motivational and a little bit more of an in-depth, like personal feel with the show. And James Jaramillo, who is one of our guests, he's I don't know what you want to call his actual injury, but he has a spinal cord injury and he's in a wheelchair, but he still races side-by-sides. And he's got a really motivational story, just like a lot of our guests have. And it's cool to see all that stuff. And him and I talked a couple weeks ago and decided that it would be cool to share some of our day-to-day kind of life things together and talk about how they relate to racing and overcoming things. And I think it's going to be a really cool segment because we'll be able to get some interaction with some of our guests and see what they think of those same type of situations. Like anything from opening a door for a guy or old woman or whoever it is, just being a nice person, paying it forward, to having an injury and having to overcome a whole bunch of crap.
Right.
So
real life stuff.
Yeah. So I think it'll be cool because we can relate it to the guests and to the, how we have, man, there's so many people that have amazing stories. I really think that'll connect with a lot of people. So, so we're going to talk with James a little bit and our featured guest tonight, the one and only, well, now he's got a haircut. So Ronnie Anderson. So it's going to be cool to talk with him. We talked with his brother RJ Anderson a couple shows ago. That was really, really awesome. So now we get to talk with Ronnie and see how things are going for him. I know that they have some pretty cool plans for 2021. Doing professional off-road racing is not an easy job, and they work very, very hard at it. So it's going to be cool to talk with him and see what kind of stuff that they have planned and how 2020 has been for those guys too. So we'll talk with Ronnie a little bit later. I think around, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 minutes, we're going to have, Tanner calling in to talk about some of that stuff. So I'm going to try to start the Facebook watch party in just a little bit here.
That's why I can't start it.
What?
I don't know. I can't figure it out.
Yeah, I can't figure it out either.
I'm terrible.
It's too hard, man. So Facebook changed all their stuff, but maybe you guys could tell us what the easiest way to start these things are. So while I figure it out, I'll ask you a question then. So,
well, first I have to tell you that I'm admiring your shoes.
Dude, they got flowers on them.
Well, they kind of, it's been going for the last hour, so I'm trying to figure out what it reminds me of.
What, this pattern here on the tongue?
Yeah, it actually reminds me of birthday cake icing.
Ooh, that is actually like maybe with the sprinkles kind of?
Yeah, totally.
Dude, it
Love
does.
it.
So I'm feeling these shoes though because they got
cool.
the vents in them. Like,
love it.
So it's like red in my wheelhouse too because I love the way that these shoes feel. Like you love your Vans.
Yep.
And I love these Nike Cortez because they're so comfortable for me. Like they support. They're so lightweight and they support the way that I have to walk. So
they got traction.
Yeah. I mean, they look kind of gangster, but now I got flowers on them. I take away a little bit of the gangster, right?
It's icing. It's,
they got
birthday
icing
cake icing.
I hope people don't want to eat my feet then. All right, so let me ask you this question while I figure out this stupid-ass Facebook stuff. So
this is frustrating.
I
need some like 16-year-old kids to tell me how to do this.
I know. Your daughters could probably figure it out quicker than we can. So this Gas, Red Bull, Troy Lee, well, I was going to say KTM team, but it's basically a red KTM, right?
Right.
So it's an Austrian motorcycle. It's gas. Like, what's your opinion on it, man? Because, like, first of all, I'm in love because I love, KTMs. I just don't like orange. Your favorite color is orange.
Yeah.
And now I'm into it because it's red.
Right.
So what do you think?
I don't know. I think it's cool to see another platform.
Yeah, somebody else jumping in.
Yeah, but at the same time, is it the same old thing? Because it's already, KTM based or whatever. I
don't know, dude. I feel like it has a new vibe. Like it has a totally different vibe than what the KTM stuff does because it's a new color, so it would just be a little bit different. You know what I mean? Like, and they got some really like good riders, right? They got
for sure.
Justin Barsha, Michael Moseman, like some guys that will like panic rev the shit out of those things. So
they'll make their mark for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome to Tanner Carew to the show, man. How you doing, bud?
What's up, man? How you doing? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no worries. Do you have the ability to turn your phone sideways at all, or you want to leave it like that?
Turn it.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah, now we can see you a little bit closer, dude. What's going down, man? How are you?
Nothing much. Just hanging out in Southern California for the week, which is nice. So just hanging out back home.
Yeah, right on. Well, for our audience that may or may not know who you are, just excuse me, we do. But tell them a little bit about your background. You grew up in Southern California riding and stuff, but ended up actually playing professional football, right?
Yep. So born and raised Southern California, riding the desert, a little bit of moto, a little bit of that stuff, but mostly desert, like adventure rides, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, and then I was a good high school football player. I mean, I was okay, but I was a freakishly good long snapper, so I took and ran with it that way. And then I was the number one long snapper in the country coming out of high school. So I chose to go to Oregon, was an All-American there, and then bounced around playing some pro ball, Seahawks, Bears, most recently XFL. So it's kind of where I'm at now. So
it's pretty rad.
now I'm
though,
living up
dude.
in
Like,
Portland.
Super cool.
You don't hear that many people that are into we're just gonna say stick and ball sports, like that actually like really into moto and action sports, right? So I love the fact that he's super into it.
Definitely cool.
Yep.
Hey, so you've had some pretty rad stuff happening in the last couple months.
Yeah, definitely. I just got back from another trip over at Gold Creek Lodge in Idaho. Told you about that. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, so have you seen that Gold Creek Lodge yet before, Casey?
Mm-mm.
It's like a freaking off-roader's paradise, man.
Oh, yeah?
You can rent bikes, rent e-bikes. You can stay there at the lodge. You can obviously kick back with some refreshments for your afternoon after you're done with riding, like all kinds of fun stuff.
It's sweet. So I got up there, and then actually this is the first year they're open for the winter. They converted all their bikes to snow bikes.
Oh, man. How cool is that?
So yeah, right. Like, it's so sick. So I'm definitely going to make a trip back up there in the winter. I've never been on a snow bike or a snowmobile, so I definitely have to do that. Got to ride Washougal again. That was fun. Been doing a lot of riding out in Oregon, a lot of enduro stuff. Today, actually, I was over at the endurocross over at Glen Helen, checking that out. It was pretty crazy. Those guys are unreal. They really are.
Have you seen one of those before? Like, dude, they do doubles on logs and stuff. Have you seen where they launch that stuff?
It's pretty nuts.
It really is.
Insane.
Super cool.
Dude, so I was actually riding at Brown's Camp in Tillamook Forest last week, and they have an endurocross track out there. Oh my God, I took such a hard spill trying it. Like, just trying to get through it.
Did you try to hug some of those obstacles?
I can hop the logs, I can get through the rocks, but dude, they have like monster truck tires you have to go over. Like,
yeah,
it's insane. I don't know how they do it. Yeah, it's nuts. It's crazy.
Those dudes have so much skills.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And
they really do.
It's not like the bikes are like little mini bikes either. That's like a heavy, normal dirt bike. You know what I mean?
Well, just think about it. Like, it's already hard to go around a motocross track, right? Throw some logs and shit, and rocks and stuff in there.
Well, it's like, hey, it's like rad, right? We're going down, we're going down the street and we're just gonna take a right into Home Depot and just hit the lumber yard.
So you're gonna talk about sponsorships, Tanner, but do you know how to start a freaking Facebook watch party? I can't figure it out, dude.
Darn it.
I do not know how to start a Facebook watch party.
Dude, we need to get
all
some
I know is Instagram Live.
It used to be so easy.
Yeah, you just press start watch party.
Done.
Now I've gone through every single menu and I can't figure it out. Hey, if you guys have any info on how we can start this watch party from our personal Facebook accounts, chime in on Facebook and let us know.
Yeah, how about Justin Maslow? He says, what's up? He's watching on Facebook. He should know how to do it.
Oh, dude, and Tyrone's rocking his KMC hat, too.
Is.
Me and him both, dude.
Absolutely. Help us out. Help us out, boys.
Yeah. All right, so what's up with these sponsors that you've been working with?
Yeah, so I picked up a sponsorship from 509 Offroad. That was pretty cool. Just kind of came about and pretty pumped for that. So get to work with them a little bit, do a couple things. So super stoked. So see how that goes. They're based out of Spokane.
Oh, right on. Yeah, so you get to hang out and do stuff with them up there at some of those riding spots, or?
Yeah, so a lot of those dudes are at Gold Creek a lot. That's kind of how I heard about them. I got in touch with a lot of them. And then, so I started riding over there and kind of just met the right people kind of thing. And, so I'm super stoked to do some stuff with them.
That's pretty rad. I don't know too much about the company, but, I mean, anytime you can get any type of partnership going, it always goes a long way, right? So
yeah, definitely.
How do you feel about some of this new, like we were just talking about it, we didn't get into it too far, about some of this new manufacturers, well, I guess it's a red KTM, but this new team, this new gas team coming in hot with Justin Barsha, Michael Mosiman, and I forgot, we got to look and see who else is on the team.
I think it dropped this week, right?
Yesterday.
Oh, yesterday.
Dropped today.
Today? Okay.
Today? Yeah.
I felt a little out of the loop.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of it. I mean, Barsha was so much better on his Honda, 100%. So Barsha was way better on his Honda, and
the new bike's
Star
red
Races
too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that is a thing.
Barsha's kind of a bulldog. Maybe the red gjust gets him fired up,
like a
bull. Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is with the Yamaha on the 450. I mean, I've heard that like the biggest complaint out of guys racing Supercross today is that there's too much power for a Supercross.
Right.
So him going to another bike's going to be a big thing. I mean, it's kind of sick that they partner with Red Bull and Troy Lee. I mean, I think Barsha's going to do great. I'm a huge fan of it.
So one of the things that I was going to ask, like on a business level, so there was talks about Troy Lee, Red Bull, KTM, like diminishing their team.
Really?
So yeah, just because the results weren't there and it was costing them a lot of money. And then so now when something like this happens, well, I think there's two parts to this like statement. first of all, it's badass that they have, well, I guess one company, but 3 manufacturers under one roof, the Husky brand, KTM, and Gas now, because that means that they have 3 outlets to be able to push money towards racing, right? So it helps everybody. So now Gas and Troy Lee are saved, so to speak.
This is true.
You know what I mean?
I do.
But I also
they're just like buying the whole block.
Yeah, totally.
But that's
buying the whole block.
They've got a huge market share right now.
Well, it's so badass though. And then when you think about it, like on a different level, so NASCAR doesn't have a Chevy team. They don't have a Toyota team, right?
Right.
They have, Joe Gibbs and all this stuff. So now Troy Lee and all of these other like big dogs, like Star Yamaha, for instance, Yamaha's halting their factory effort and Star is taking over their 450 program.
Sure.
So now it's turning more NASCAR-esque. And I was having a conversation today about some of the side-by-side stuff, and it's going to be super cool because the side-by-side and off-road industry is already positioned that way where there's private teams. So if the factories want to just come in and support those private teams, they don't have to do anything but just jump in and be a support mechanism. They don't have to start a whole program.
Right. It makes sense. It's almost like they're the subcontractor.
It basically is, but how much better is that for the factory, though?
Sure.
So to see all of this stuff come into fruition, like in 2020, especially in such a weird year, is badass.
Yeah. Maybe it lets them
definitely is.
Maybe it lets them focus on the development like even more, because they have a specific team that's doing just that.
Yeah, exactly.
And then another specific team doing just that. Maybe it's better use of resource. Maybe
100%. Plus, there's shared resources too, because
true.
you're sharing
between the 3.
I don't know. You could say a guy or a company's money, and then just having the subcontractor for the
right.
Dude, it's way better. So Justin Mazzio just chimed in and said, "There's no way except for to share it."
But wasn't there a big deal about Barsha leaving Thor for the first time, or Alpine Stars, one of the two? Like now he's got to wear Troy Lee, and that was a big deal.
I don't know. I didn't see his gear.
That makes sense with the boots, though. I think that's been his thing forever, right?
Yeah, forever. But what I liked about the whole deal.
Oh, that's right.
What I liked about the whole deal was with Malcolm Stewart going to Star, he's wearing 7 gear. So I think that's going to allow riders to make more money. It's going to let them get paid by their gear sponsor, and then on top of that, so a race team's paying the rider less, and the gear company's paying them more.
Right. It actually.
So that way, it's going to allow these riders to make more money.
Makes sense,
dude. That's actually super rad.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it's going to. I'm really pumped about that. It's going to give riders more money. And then everyone's happy. The factory's paying them less, but the riders get more money.
No kidding.
Everyone's winning.
Yeah, sounds like a win-win.
Dude, I think it's going
to
be.
Got it.
Well, I tried, but mine crashed. So anyways,
sorry guys.
I think that's going to be super cool in the future, though, because that brings so many more opportunities. Just because of the business structure and all that, it brings so many more opportunities for off-road. Because we're the little guys, right? Side-by-side racing is small. Off-road guys in the desert is small. 2 wheels, Baja is small. Like, we think it's the biggest shit on the planet because we're into it, but it's so small. Motocross is small, but we still follow them.
Right.
So once they figure it out, then we get the benefits.
That's true.
So I think it's going to be super. I think it's going to be super cool to see what happens, man. Like, I'm so pumped, and plus, like, I just love that red KTM, dude.
I wonder
the red KTM?
Yeah.
Do they have a steel frame for Barsha to hit everybody on that thing?
Dude, he's got an extra beefed up steel frame.
It's a different steel frame.
Dude, the freaking picture, he had a bat that said Bam Bam on it.
Oh, no.
In the team picture. Picture, it said Bam Bam on the bat.
They're really playing the villain, aren't they? I just wonder if it's going to hold up to all his death revving.
Dude, you think? That's all computer stuff, though. You can just program it, right?
Totally.
Dude, I can't start a freaking watch party to save my life. I figured out where the button was because you showed me, but my Facebook keeps crashing, so I'm over it.
Damn Zuckerberg.
We'll just have to wait for the watch party. So, hey, what do you got planned for the next, I don't know, maybe a month or two? You got any riding and stuff planned?
Yeah, so this weekend we're going to head out into the Barstow area. We're going to do a ton of big rides out there. Pretty pumped about that. I'm trying to talk my dad to go on to this one canyon that he refuses to go to because 20 years ago he got lost in it and gets all scared.
Nice.
But I want to go. He doesn't, but we'll go. Doing that.
Did you guys get dressed up for Halloween?
I did not, because we drove down here the next morning after Halloween. We bombed the 16-hour drive. So we didn't go out. too hard. So
you're supposed to do the wah-wah. Which one's the wah-wah?
This one.
Yeah. You didn't get dressed up for Halloween. Hey, I get the wah-wah too, though, because I didn't dress up for Halloween either, so I'm right there with you.
Yeah. I'm going to some forest in Washington in 2 weeks with a bunch of guys. There's supposed to be some crazy riding out there. I forgot the name of it.
Do you have to drive your dirt bike to all these places, or do you have a bike up there and a bike down in Southern California too?
No, I got a bike down here and I got a bike up in the Northwest. But the place in Washington is only 70 miles.
One with narrow bars?
Narrow bars, yeah.
For the woods.
You need those narrow bars up in the Northwest, right? Yeah. God. I actually just got tossed a sweet set of bars from Phoenix Handlebars. They got some good stuff too.
Nice, man. Dude, it sounds like you guys have been having a lot of fun getting off-road.
We have. We've really been having a lot of fun since COVID hit off-road. We really have. Just out in the desert, been riding a lot of different places I never thought I would have, because I've been doing a ton of stuff over Gold Creek the past couple months. I just love it there. I want to move there. It's like the best place ever.
I would
love that place.
You showed me a few like links and different things for that. Like, it was super cool to see, because like it makes you really want to go up there and check it out, man. It looks so bitchin'.
Did you catch the name of your new off-road team? You just said
what?
COVID Off-Road.
COVID Off-Road.
Like, well,
oh my God!
COVID
Nobody's gonna want to sign up
that.
with that off-road team, though.
I need the rights to the website right now.
Dude, everybody's gonna.
We should so do that.
Totally.
We should so do that.
Done.
Start a race team.
Yeah,
Freaking
COVID
win.
Off-Road. I love it.
I feel like nobody's gonna want to be on that team, dude.
No kidding.
Either that, or it's gonna be such a joke that everybody's gonna love being on it.
Right.
Well, thanks for calling in, dude. We really appreciate it. It's awesome to see like all the stuff that you've been doing. I know it's been a weird year in sports, and obviously getting out on the field and stuff, but you've been making the most of it.
Yeah, I'm trying to have fun, explore other avenues, but yeah, always staying ready for a call, always staying ready to play. I mean, but still, I mean, trying to put my foot in the door other places. So having some fun.
Yeah, I feel you, dude. Well, thanks for calling in, and keep in touch. Let us know how you do at some of these rides and stuff.
Sounds good, man. Thanks for having me on.
All right, we'll see you later.
Take care.
So
man.
Thanks, Tanner, for coming on. That was super cool that he get to join us for a little bit. So he gets to ride more than most, dude. Like,
yeah, sounds like it.
It's pretty awesome to see those places that he goes, though. Like that Gold Creek Lodge, it looks like we would love it.
It sounds like I need to look at it.
Yeah,
at least.
It's just far. It's so far.
Where was it? Idaho or something?
Yeah, it's way up in the Northwest. But like for us, it'd be easier just go to like Utah or something,
right? And
go on a cruise over there. But yeah, so thanks, Tanner, for calling in. I really appreciate it. I really, honestly, I think the gas thing is super cool, and there's a lot of hype behind it right now because it's new, right? It's like the new kids on the block, so they're all going to come out. And what do you think about when stuff like this happens as a rider, a professional rider? Usually your mindset's different. Like, you're like, ooh, everything's fresh, new. Like, you got a new like self-confidence. Like, what do you think these dudes are going to do coming out the gate?
They're going to be swinging. But you know what? They have a place to – well, maybe Steve will set us straight on this, but I feel like they probably have a base.
Oh, I think Steve tried to give us a buzz.
Like, I'm sure they're not exactly the same. There's enough different, to not just carbon copy the starting setup, but I feel like it's probably close enough to start.
What do you mean?
Like the bikes, the platforms are, I would say, probably.
Oh, they already have settings and stuff. But I'm just saying, like, the freshness and all the hype, dude. Those guys are going to be coming out the gate hard.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's going to be super cool to see them. Like, I mean, when it's that fresh, like, just think about when you got a new bike. Even if you got you were always on Hondas and then you got another Honda, like a brand new one, you'd be amped, right?
Oh, totally.
So these guys are starting even more fresh.
Right.
So let's ask Steve. Steve Westfall, you on the line? What's up, bud?
What up? What up?
How's it going, guys?
Where are you at?
Are you pedaling?
I'm not pedaling. The kids are pedaling.
Nice.
Oh, you at the bike track?
Yeah, I'm at the BMX track right now. So.
Right on, man. Well, thanks for taking the time to join us tonight. Hey, so we wanted to ask you a couple questions before we get into the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna Championship winning season. We wanted to talk about what your thoughts are about
Sorry.
Casey figured out the soundboard so he can press all these buttons and get the audio going, so you might hear some fun stuff. So what do you think about the new Gas team coming in, dude? It's a lot of hype now, huh?
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of hype to it, but I mean, it's within the family. It's still in the family if you think about it.
Yep.
Yeah, but for the general person that just gets to see all the hype, dude, it's pretty freaking cool to see. Like, we were talking about some of the awesome stuff that the whole brand KTM, Husqvarna, and Gas are putting back into the motocross industry, and just how it benefits everybody. It even trickles down to benefit all of us in side-by-sides and off-road and Baja and all these things because of the way that things are getting structured with the factory teams putting money into private teams and all that. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I mean, it's there's 3 brands now within the group, so definitely the brand is expanding, and the company in a whole, so it's definitely a good thing for all of us.
Does it change anything that you guys do on a day-to-day basis?
No, stays the same. We all work together. We still share things together, so it's just another set of eyes and ears to listen. So I mean, it's good.
That is cool. Does that mean that the shop got bigger?
They're across the street, so but it did a little bit.
That means you have more people to go to lunch with just in case somebody calls in sick, right?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So let us know how 2020 was. Let's start off by saying, like, you guys had to manage it a little bit because of all the weird stuff that happened, but you guys came out on top and won the championship with Zavh.
Yeah, it was a crazy year. I just had to talk about it last Tuesday, and I mean, to think that Zavh went 2-1 and then backed it up with a 5-1 with the issue that we had come for practice, and then we went to Ironman and it was okay. Then we went to Redbud and then went 1-1, and then we still got on the box for the second Redbud. You're kind of like, all right, this is kind of cool, just try to, again, I've always said it, try to keep it fun. But then Millville came, and that was a disaster second moto, I guess you could say. It's just, things that you would never think would happen, and it did. So it's, but, what do you do, at the end of the day? I mean, there's things you can control and you can't control, and you can control it in one aspect, but you can't control it in another, just because I mean, we don't run mooses in the front, so
but
it's just got such a different feel.
You got to give a lot of credit to the team, though. I mean, like, that stuff doesn't work out unless people are prepared or quick thinkers on their feet. Like, you got to be able to manage those situations and be able to function to be able to win the championship like that. Like, there wasn't just an easy road to win a bunch of motos, dude. Like, there was some hard times.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, and it's not like one person, I mean, everybody's, the top 5 guys, 6 guys. I mean,
every weekend,
they're on
every
a whole other level.
Yep, every moto.
Yeah, you have to be on it. You have to be on your game. And Zavh was on his game almost every moto. So, I mean, can't take that away. And then I remember talking to him Monday because I'm still kind of confused a little from the whole situation. And he's like, I'm going to go win Jacksonville. I'm going to go 1-1. I'm like, okay. And he's, I'm going 1-1. I'm telling you right now. I'm like, all right.
Wow.
That's what and he did. It was hot. It was rough. I mean, it's everything that sets up for him. So, and then Colorado, was okay. I mean, it wasn't the greatest, but I mean, the best thing for us was the Eli one. So, and then obviously Paula, you just had to do the math in your head at the end of the day, and
right,
which was pretty manageable. So,
dude, I think it's super cool when a rider has that much confidence. We were just talking about this with the gas guys. Like, you can come out and say that, like, dude, I'm on fire. Like, I know it's going to be a good day.
I will not be denied.
Yeah, exactly.
Does that, like, when he talks like that, you probably get all pumped up, but does it all of a sudden, like, put more pressure on you?
No, I try not to say too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just, if that's what he thinks he's going to do, then that's what he's going to do.
Right. This is the psychology part.
That's like, well, and the fighters, when
Yeah.
the fighters coming into the ring, like, you don't adjust their, like, you get them hyped up, right? Like, you get them going.
Right.
Hey, so we had Tyrone Robinson just comment in. How do you feel about Cali not being on the schedule for 2021?
Two things. I mean, I'm excited that it's going to start somewhere else, but also at the same time, it's going to suck not starting it and being able to sleep in my own bed at night that night leading into it. So it'll be cool, though. I think, honestly, that, you know, it's changing. Like, they're going to try somewhere else. But, I mean, we'll see. I mean, you never know. It could come back. You know what I mean? Like, we could come back to it. But
so they have some tentative, like, plans? Like, we could throw dates in here if stuff frees up?
Yeah, there's still 5 because they did 12. They announced 12. So there's still 5 that I believe the last round is still going to be at Salt Lake, but like there's still some that they could fit in there if need be.
Oh, that's
if
good.
they open us up, because the market out here for racing is huge.
Yeah,
so,
it's massive. Yeah, and he's talking about Southern California. Yeah. One of the things that I do like, though, and I think actually we talked with Steve about this, was like they're making it easy. Well, I don't want to say easier on the teams because I don't know what he deals with, but they don't have to travel as much. They have 2 or 3 races one weekend.
It is pretty cool, but at the same time, like we talked, for trying to, you know, get the Supercross season all done in that small amount of time, it's good and bad. It's pretty stressful, but then logistically, you're there as long as you have all the stuff. I mean, it just sounds like
but Steve's team is one of the ones that adapted quickly enough to figure it all out.
No doubt. Yep.
No, we were actually having a conversation today before I went home at the track, and you know, if there's, you know, because we go Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, you know, if you need to test something, where are you going to test it?
That's actually a really good point.
Home Depot.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we could fly home Sunday and then, you know, test and then fly back Monday. There's not enough time, you know, in between.
Yeah.
So,
and is it worth that risk too? You know, like you never know. You
get sick, it brings up all these different
toe.
things though. Like, so Steve solves problems every day, right? But like, so you say, okay, well now I got to find a Supercross track in Arizona. Maybe it's a private track, or maybe we rent it. Then we go there for the day, and I don't want to say haphazard test it, but we don't test it like we normally would. We test it a different way and see if we can at least get some sort of results out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's almost opening up. Like if you think way back in the day when you had all the works bikes, you could do it. It was like open season for anything. It's almost the same thing when you're trying to figure out the solution to the problem. Like no one has an answer yet. You know what I'm saying? You see the parallel? Yeah. So that's kind of exciting to me, right?
Hey, so I got 2 questions that are non-race related. First of all, how are the boys doing on their BMX bikes?
Yeah.
They're doing pretty good. Parker had a big one last night. Scared the shit out of me, to be quite honest with you.
Uh-oh.
What did he do?
Caught his pant over when he was manualing something in it. Because he's clipped in, and he went right over the bars. But he was all right, thank God. He just kind of slid and stuff. So
that was a dad moment.
No, that was a dad moment. Yeah, he was embarrassed more than anything. So hold on one second. Hey. Can you go to the Tahoe for me?
One of the things that I was going to ask him was
there's a water bottle.
How much side-by-side riding he's been getting in lately, because we need to
at home a little bit.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
No worries, dude. So I was just talking to Casey.
Bad dad. I forgot their water in the car.
Oh, dude. Yeah, your trainer status is going way low, dude.
That's all right.
Hey,
my rookie is with me. So
second,
Styles Robertson.
Oh, right on. Yes. So we'll talk about the racing stuff again, but my most important question of the night is, well, I'm going to be in Southern California, so I want to go on a side-by-side ride with you. But when, how much side-by-side riding have you guys been getting in?
We've been going quite a little bit. We haven't done much. We went actually to Cal City last weekend for a wedding, so we went out there. And there's an old ghost town somewhere out in the middle. Mm-hmm. Ransburg, maybe. Does that sound right? I can't remember what it is. But anyways, we went out there and hung out and came back. And then we'll probably go this weekend, more than likely.
Nice, dude.
When are you coming out?
Is there all kinds of riding at Jerryland? That's the real answer.
You can, but you got a trailer to Jerry Land, and that's like an hour, and and then we got to feed the goats and hang out with Jerry, and poor Jerry.
Love it. I wish everybody knew what we were talking about.
What is it?
Yeah. How do you explain Jerry Land? Jerry's just like the coolest dude ever. Everybody knows him.
Yeah.
He's just out there.
Whatever he's into, he becomes the place to do it. It becomes the mecca to go do it. Like he got into RC stuff, built the best RC truck ever. Everybody want to go there and test
really?
it. Yeah, and now what's he doing now? He's adventure riding or doing whatever.
Yeah, he's out on his adventure. He's got a Razor, so I know he's been out riding around on that. He keeps asking me to come out, but it's hard. Well, it's hard when I can leave right from my house and do whatever I want.
Yeah, that's
what I'm saying.
That is super
absolutely.
easy.
That is cool.
Yeah. So I've been coming out like, dude, I gotta come out tomorrow too. I've been coming out to Southern California a lot lately. We'll have some fun out there. I'll text you and we'll see if we can get together or something. But because
we leave right from my house, and just go out and cruise around out through the hills, and there's a bunch of places. So. We run over to the bomb shelter. Like there's always, a bunch of stuff.
That's perfect, dude. So you guys are basically like we are in Arizona. So I'll hit you up and we can go for a ride or whatever. But man. So the cool part about 2021 is that everything's still happening. Everything's going to be a little bit different. But what's like the mentality, or how do you guys go into a new race season after having all this stuff, right? So you always think about like stick and ball sports, right? You win a Super Bowl championship, and then the next year you don't want to tank. Like that's the first thing you think. Like you don't want to fuck it up. But then you could be a next year Super Bowl champion just as easy if you keep that same momentum. But everybody is gunning for you because you got a target on your back. Like what's your guys' mentality as a team?
Keep it the same.
That's nice, dude.
Don't change anything that we've been doing.
Keep it fun.
So
everybody knows.
Yeah, you have
Scuba
to.
Steve.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, you got to keep it fun. I'm probably a little too light on some things, but you have to keep it fun.
Yeah, but look at the net result.
Sure.
Look at the net result. We got how many championships this year?
Well, we only had one, but we did win some races.
Okay, all right. Well, one's enough.
Well, I was impressed by some of the rookies and stuff too.
Yeah.
How do you feel about losing Mosman though? Well, I guess you didn't really lose him. I guess from a company.
I didn't lose him. He just shifted.
Yeah.
Michael just shifted. Michael's a good kid, and honestly, I think it's good for him because I think he'll get a little more exposure over there personally, because it's a smaller group, So he'll be the veteran of the 250 class over there, and that I feel that's best for him.
That makes sense. Yep.
So
be the alpha dog.
How many riders are on that team? Is it Barsha, Mosman, and then somebody else?
Pierce Brown.
Oh yeah, Pierce. I forgot about him. Dude, that kid's gonna have a good season. That kid's fat
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah.
He's gonna rip. And then, so who do you guys have on your team for this year then?
They haven't announced it. I mean, it's pretty much the same other than Michael.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, it is the same. Styles will move into the pros next year.
Oh, right
so
on. That'll
he's
be cool.
been out here doing Supercross and whatnot. So it's just starting to get back into the swing of things, and it'll, he's riding really well. I'm impressed right now. So, and it impressed me. It takes a lot. So I'm happy.
You've only been around the block a few times, so I can see that. I still think, like, whenever I see Steve's face on the initial part of the call, I still see him helping Davey.
I know, totally.
I always remember those days. You know what I mean?
So cool.
Like,
I'm sure he does too.
Well, yeah,
he remembers them.
Yeah.
Some of those moments were pretty treasurable.
Totally. Well, I think they pave your way, right? It's also got you.
It did.
In this championship or a championship, well, two of them this year that you were in. I mean, I'm sure you got to those points where you're like, hey, I've been here before. Come out swinging. You know what I mean? I'm sure that paves the way.
It definitely helps it for sure. Like, I learned a lot with Davey over the years. I mean, I've known Davey since 2000. So, that's always been helpful. We still talk. Probably not as much as he would like it lately, but we still talk. I mean, even though he's out in Havasu, and we're actually planning to go out there in December, second weekend in December, to go hang out, rip some razors and whatnot. But, I mean, honestly, he's how I got to where I am today with that year and how good we did. So, which I'm thankful for.
Well, let me make a suggestion. If you're going to go up to Havasu and go rip razors with Davey, do not go on the UTV World Championship race course in the standard wash OHV area. Dude, that track was freaking brutal, man. Oh, my God, It was gnarly. Holy crap, dude. Like, it was –
I can imagine.
Oh, it was so burly. But there is some fun places that you can go ride up there. It's nice because some of the places you can hit the lake, too.
Yeah. No, I was thinking about bringing a boat, but the wife told me no. So we're no boat that weekend.
Dude, it'd be freezing balls, though, out there, wouldn't it? Just early December?
Yeah, but it's good fishing.
Oh, that's right.
Can't forget.
That's right.
Darn it.
Dang, she clipped the whole fishing. All right, hey, we'll let you get back to the boys, man. I really appreciate you taking the time with us.
Thanks,
dude.
guys. I appreciate it.
Tell them we said hi.
Anytime. I will. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
all right, later, Steve.
buddy.
See ya.
It's neat to see that he's so amped on all the stuff that's going on, right? Well, I guess maybe the smile on his face is coming from the family time right now, but
I'm sure that's always Scuba Steve too, though. Like he's always, you're hard pressed to not have a pleasurable conversation with Steve.
Well, I guess that's right, because you were like telling him questions like about changing it or what was going to happen to, like when I asked him what's the plan for next season since there's all these different variables, and he's like, oh, keep it the same.
Yep, keep it light, keep it fun.
I guess that's a good way to look at things, though, because then, I don't know how you say this, but nothing overwhelms you. Mm-hmm. Like you're not a worrywart kind of thing, so that's pretty badass.
Right.
It's neat to see that the motocross stuff is getting through. Like F1 had so many changes this year. Like stick and ball sports had the most drastic effect, I guess.
Major.
But motocross is still getting through, right? Like stuff's still happening. I mean, they're having so many amateur races. It's crazy.
It is pretty cool. And it kind of goes back to the whole point of the dirt life. Like you just figure it out.
Yeah. Get back in there and figure it out. Yeah, you got to hold the flashlight for Dad somehow. So it doesn't matter how you do it. Even if your arm's tired, you figure out how to get that flashlight going in there, right?
Figure out how to keep it there, too.
So I think it's pretty cool that Steve was able to persevere through all that stuff that they faced this year. And it's no small feat when you talk about changing the way that you operate, right? Like, so you have to manage a whole team. Like, let's just say there's 20, 30, 50 people on the team. You have to change everything that you do for whatever's going on around you.
Right.
So in a normal race season, you change whatever's happening in the situation, like the bike and stuff. This year was a total shit show. So it was nice to see that he was able to adapt to all that stuff. So I can't wait to see what happens in 2021 for those guys. I still do think that Barsha and Moseman are going to be fired up.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
Those guys are going to be chomping at the bit to go get some wins and stuff. So we'll see what happens with those guys.
I can hear the revs already.
I had to just panic revving the crap out of those gas machines. I can't wait to see it. Did you remember how much Barsha used to panic rev those 250Fs?
Oh my gosh,
Hondas?
They must have done valves between motos on those Hondas,
just blowing them out.
dude.
They got to have that computer like limiting the revs so much, man. Right. It's cool to see, though. Like I said, it's neat to be able to understand that how people work and how they maintain things. It goes back to basically all the stuff that we're going to talk about for our Motivation Monday segments. Is like you have to pivot, you have to adjust, you have to make changes in whatever it is. If it's life, if it's business, if it's health-wise, everything has to change. And if you adjust and you have those capabilities to, pivot in life, then you can make a huge impact on the surroundings or people around you and everything. So
no doubt.
I think those qualities are super good to have. That's why I enjoy talking with Steve so much. Maybe one of these days I'll get to actually go on a side-by-side ride with him.
That'd be cool. I'm sure he's down.
Yeah, it would be neat to be able to do that. What part of Cali are we coming to, Tyrone? We will be in Southern California. So probably like Riverside County area, Temecula, Murrieta, all those places. So we'll see what happens. But lately I've been doing a lot of stuff in Orange County and Riverside County. So it just seems like I'm always there lately. But Southern California has treated us pretty good. So I'm glad that we're able to have such a good time out there and, talk with people from Southern California too. Like, how many invites have we had to go riding out there by now?
Yeah, no kidding.
So
wish I could make it.
It's pretty cool. One of the things
all of them.
One of the things that we haven't talked about yet, it has zero to do. Yeah, go ahead and grab James. It's zero to do with motivation, but it's motivated me as these new BAI coconut waters. Oh my God, they're so good.
the girlfriend drink.
Yeah. Well, is it called Bay or Bai? I don't know what it's called, but they're so delicious. So
I'm afraid to say it wrong.
If we need to get, because if we're going to try to get a sponsorship from them, then we can't say it wrong. We got to figure it out.
Yeah, you gotta say it right.
So yes, keeping Tyrone. Well, if we're in your area, man, just shoot me a message or something, and we can try to get some tacos or something. So
is this the hype for the Monday motivation?
Yeah. So Motivation Monday. Let's hear the hype intro. Woo! Dude, we got to get you some, like, I think the Kid Rock one would be cool. Bang, like, get super hyped.
I need a little remote over here, though, so I can be
Yes, you don't have to lean over and hit the soundboard?
Because I'm not surprising you. You're already...
Yeah. Because I can see you?
Yeah, you can already see me doing it.
So we're going to start this Motivation Monday segment. And like I said before, I kind of introduced it a little bit, but my buddy James Jaramillo, we had him on the show earlier. I don't know how many episodes ago it was, which one it was, but his story is pretty fantastic, man. He has a spinal cord injury, and he's still been for motocross, just like me. And he's just been doing so much. Like, he's a pioneer in the adaptive, side-by-side stuff and being able to race and things like that. So it's good to be able to talk with him and understand the things that he deals with, because on a daily basis we face more than most, right? But everybody has their problems, so it's super relatable. But the thing that I like most about James is that he translates all those bad things into what he can do better and make it better for not only his life, the people around him, but also his race program. So we're going to talk about some of that motivational stuff.
I call that Gen 2ing.
Yeah, Gen 2. That's a good way to do it.
He's Gen 2ing at life.
Yeah, he is Gen 2ing at life. So we'd like to welcome James Jaramillo to the studio, or to the FaceTime call. How you doing, James?
Doing good, George. How are you doing?
Good, man. I'm stoked to talk with you. We've been working on this little segment stuff for a little while, trying to iron it out, because you and I, we face a lot of the similarities. And, well, actually, let's just say everybody in the world faces stuff day to day, right? But we wanted to make sure that we were talking about it right and having a lasting impression on what people think about going through a day to day, like helping people get motivated for the rest of their week. So maybe you can expand on it a little bit.
Yeah, we've like you said, we've talked over the last couple of weeks to try to get some good ideas, and it's kind of interesting. Like, what we came up with was there's a lot of the same, as you said, challenges that you and I are somewhat similar, but then also somewhat different. But then it's also, in a way, it's a lot of the same things that everybody else faces. So it's a good thing to share and talk about. And one of those actually happened today. And
oh, really?
I didn't tell you about this one yet. This was. You guys can totally relate to this one, but I'm still a little bummed out about it, but I think we can figure out a way to make it all work. So I have a Turbo S that I bought about a year ago now for like a play car and go do some works races and put 2 seats in it and put some friends in there and just not be so focused on just the track racing and actually go and enjoy the side-by-sides on weekends like how they were originally built for. And figured, perfect, it's a very similar to my other razors. This building the hand controls will be easy, and fabrication projects are never easy, and it's never your first go around that works. So I assumed last October that this thing was going to be done by Christmas time. It was going to be a good play car, and I'd get a lot of seat time in it. Well, we've had a lot of hiccups along the way, just with the car being a little bit wider. So then my steering system that I thought was going to work is going to be a whole different animal to re-engineer. So we've had to re-engineer our steering column quite a bit different, put a heavier power steering motor on it, make sure our U-joints were straighter. But then all those things, you're cutting steel, you're not cutting cardboard. So it's a week-long project to try to think that a couple of these degrees are going to make a difference. And then on paper it all does. And then you go to do it, and then you have an issue with it. And then I get it, and the guys around the shop can drive the car. They're like, man, this thing's awesome. And then I drive in it, and I get it, and I can't steer. So we've had this back and forth for probably the first go-around, I'd say, was in February to go and just try the car. And the long story short, I've got this beautiful showroom finished car still with the knobbies on the tires that I haven't driven yet in the shop. And I'm on design probably 7 or 8 of just, okay, we're going to place the steering column really straight because that'll give us a better shot to the U-joints. How about let's lay it down a little flatter because maybe that'll
place it so it has less of a shaft angle to work with, and just all these different ideas. So then this was the one that we said, okay, we're going to just scrap everything we've done before. We have the time after the Lucas season stopped. Let's really do it right. So we were confident it was perfect. I went this afternoon after work to go and try it, and couldn't steer the car.
Oh,
so I'm just,
dang it.
is one of those, I'm sure you guys have had a couple of those really disheartening shop moments where you guys are all just looking at each other like, I've got nothing. It's not like the quality was done good, so it wasn't anything sloppy you could point to. I talked with the engineers at the steering company that makes the boxes, and we have the box maxed out to really what it can give us. So, and it's interesting, just off-road, you change the turbo. Turbo S is a wider machine than my NA 1000 race car, so you have more leverage to steer. You have all these other variables. You have a 32-inch tire, not a 27-inch tire. You have all these different things that I probably should have put into the equation before I started working on it. But now in hindsight, now I guess I know what to do next time. And I'm just joking with the guys saying, okay, does anybody want to just buy a brand new Turbo S? Because I have one ready to go if anybody wants
yeah, but that's not your MO, dude. You don't give up on stuff like that. But so that does actually bring up a good point, Case. Like, what?
I'm picturing all of the suspension geometry as he's talking, just like thinking through it. I don't have an answer. I'm just, I know the feeling.
Good,
like
you're good at stuff like that, like re-engineering stuff, like what we're talking about Gen 2, right?
Right.
But think about it from a different perspective, right? So he's facing adversity and building these things and making them work, right? So there's two ways to look at it. First of all, you got to keep try again kind of mentality, right?
Right.
And people do this at work every day. Your boss says, no, we can't take on this project.
Right.
Figure something else out. Well, you got to go back and try again, right? But the main part about this is he's not like trying something again that can be figured out easily.
Right.
It's a very specific thing that needs to happen for his situation, right?
Right.
So these same types of mentalities can be carried on in anything.
Right.
If you can't make it up a hill on your bicycle, you have to figure out a way to do it, because if you don't reach the top, you're never going to get there if you don't figure it out, right? Like,
yeah.
So all of these things have a huge impact on your mindset.
Total does. And the good news is you know what the problem is, right? You know what the goal needs to be. Sometimes it's just a plethora of issues that you're trying to figure out. You don't even know where to start. So at least he knows what that end goal is. I mean, you could apply that to anything.
Dude, that like makes me think about like Alexander Graham Bell inventing a telephone, Steve Jobs inventing the iPhone. Like, how do you even get to that end goal? Like, there's so much behind that mentality that James is just talking about.
Right, and then which he knows and you know as well, as you're changing, because all these things are happening on different planes and angles and dynamically changes. So you change one thing and now you made another problem. So even though, like, I'm kind of reversing what I said, like, you know what you need to do, you know what this looks like, right? You can picture what that looks like,
right.
But it's like all these different avenues that you have to take when you throw it at this suspension problem.
Yeah, because it's connecting the dots. That's like that whole thing that we've talked about before. Like, an engineer can design it all on paper, it works perfectly on the computer, and it's all engineered perfectly. Right. You put it on the car and it works like complete junk.
Right. As test guys in, another industry that I've been involved with, it was always like, yep, worked on paper.
Yep.
Take it.
Yeah.
Stuff it
and
somewhere.
Then it's a piece of crap.
Yeah, it doesn't work. It's the dirt problem or the traction problem that you can't overcome. Or you can't compute, I guess.
Yeah, but he's still trying to live his dirt life.
No, heck yeah. It's awesome. Love it.
Yeah, so we're still working with it. The good thing is, as frustrating as it was, took a step back and just thought, okay, what's the goal with this? Do we want to just drive this car, or is it something that we can learn for the future? And that was the little aha moment for all of us that we realized, okay, this is something that is maybe a frustrating step back, but now looking at it as, okay, maybe what we'll do now is, instead of trying to redesign what the manufacturer did to make it work for me, we're saying, okay, let's put all the stock Polaris stuff back in. Let's put their steering motor and everything back in, but let's build a system to add on to that to work for me.
There you go.
But then maybe that'll help with any other car in the future. So it was really interesting, as George said, I guess just changing the direction or changing the mindset of getting to the goal that you wanted to get to. And realizing that might be one of those little steps, even in the more correct direction than you thought for the first time. So it's a little 4:30 to 5:30 roller coaster of emotions in the shop today. So
I'll bet.
Man, it's cool though. Like I just like listening to James talk and like thinking about just like what you were saying, thinking about him being in the shop and stuff, just gives me so much motivation, because I know those struggles in your brain, dude. Like, God, like I gotta figure this out. Like we were talking to Wayne Matlock, like it's those 2 a.m., 3 a.m. work sessions,
Absolutely.
right? Like everybody has to figure these out. It doesn't matter if you're have a spinal cord injury, if you're a total able-bodied dude, everybody runs into problems. Work, family, business, everything. It's so cool to see that mindset, because it's a never-die attitude.
Definitely.
I think it's pretty sick, James, that you are figuring it out, dude. We can't wait to see what you come up with.
yeah, thanks. Well, cross our fingers this is the last revision, because as nice as it is to think back, look at the journey, it's kind of nice to drive the car too. So
Hey, will it help?
We're getting close.
Will any of these things help the race program?
For sure. Because it's I'm definitely going to be learning new ways to build hand controls out of the car. Even through this process, I've learned how to redesign my steering system on the race car, just to make it more efficient and not have such a long steering shaft. And I've actually can eliminate probably 2 of the U-joints now that I'm thinking about it. And it could just I'm excited to drive the race car after a couple of these changes we make in the off season, because it's going to make a much more secure feeling car.
Dude, you know what's crazy is like
So
you and him have so many similarities, because neither of you have engineering degrees, but you guys can engineer the shit out of stuff. Like, it's pretty badass to see.
Don't you love it when it's like, for me, it's kind of like, I'll downplay it for sure, but it's like, oh, when I touch that, it hurt, or when I hit that, it breaks my finger, so don't do it next time. But I still need to hit it. So is there a way that I can like hold it? Like, it's right. It's just necessity breeds innovation,
Yeah, it's like,
right?
how much can you get away with without trying too much?
Yeah, exactly.
See, I told you guys think the same, dude. Yeah, like I said, it'll be pretty cool. And you know what the funny part about it is these things, like you said, necessity is the mother of invention, or whatever breeds innovation. Like, so James and I have talked, and we've all talked on the show and stuff, about how successful his new, we'll call it Gen 2 system is in his race car. For his steering system, the leverage points, the power assist, all of these different things. And he's even said himself, like, dude, it's almost good. Like, it's almost perfect. And now he's back here again. Being like, dude, no, we could do it better.
That's the racer mentality.
Yeah, we can get it better. Now I can have a car to beat up on that. You can actually get some seat time in, instead of treating the race car like a princess all the time.
Yeah.
Have you been driving the race car at all lately?
I took it out over the weekend for just a quick session to show at there's a spinal cord injury fundraiser out here in Las Vegas, and they had a lot of disabled vets out there. So I brought the car out there just to show people the hand controls. It was a really cool event. It was cool to see just people to first get exposed to just the different ways of building onto things. So that was cool. We got some people that seemed pretty interested in taking it one step further than maybe what they were doing. And then I was able to drive on their off-road track for a little bit, and it was awesome. But the car's in the shop now, and now we're starting to pull the motor and tranny and everything out of it and get it all. It's going to be down to the frame and just clean it up and redo a couple things for the off season.
Dude, it never stops.
Nope.
Ever. That's crazy, man. Well, I'm stoked for you, dude. It's pretty awesome to be able to see all that. So we were going to go up to the works races up in, Primm, Nevada in, I think, 3 or 4 weeks here, November 21st, I think it is. Yeah, so maybe you guys come hang out.
Absolutely. We're definitely going to be there.
Nice. That'll be cool. So I'll be able to see James. You should try to bring your dad, dude.
Yeah. He's with it that close, I'm sure he'll definitely come.
Nice. That'll
Plus,
be
we've got a bunch of old friends and everybody out there that he'll want to see, so I don't think he's missing that one.
Yeah, your dad's too popular to be missed, dude.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be cool, man. Thanks for helping us kick off this new segment. I think there's so many things that we can have interaction with, like as far as things that happen in just daily life, man. It's super cool to see that you're actually persevering through all of this stuff. It seems like a little feat, when he talks about it like this, because you and him are both pretty humble and downplay things, but I can tell that it's a big deal when he's going through it. Like, it's not an easy feat to be able to do the engineering stuff that he's getting done, and it will work out.
I think that some of the best times, if you really think back, because now, like you said, you know which direction you're going to go now. But if you think about how many, like, you laughed when you did it, but you got to that point and you just thought of every cuss word on the freaking earth, right? And whether you let them out or not, it almost like resets you, right?
Just throwing wrenches on the ground.
Yeah, like for my dad, it was like he used to roll a cigarette. Like he would have it in his fingers, but he would be rolling it.
Like
that's
really tight, like
just like this. He would just be going like this with it, and that's how you knew. Like he was mad, but then you knew he was figuring it out, and it was coming. The solution was coming. So
the gears are turning.
Yeah, you get to think about those times, and it's kind of like, yeah, okay, that was a lesson learned. I guess.
Yeah, no, it's like our guy in the basically our crew chief. He's looking at me. He said, "I see steam coming out of your ears. Something's off." He's like, something's not right. I see steam. So.
He's like, James got to go get a cold drink and let him chill out right now. That's so cool, though, man. I know those feelings. So it's awesome to see that things are actually starting to work out. So good on you, dude.
Well, thanks.
All right, so that was Motivation Monday. Thanks so much, James Jaramillo, for joining us. We really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, but are we going to be able to have a follow-up and hear what the solution is, or is that like way under
wraps?
Yeah,
he's going to come on. He's going to come on at least every couple weeks.
Oh, yeah. My goal is to be racing that car at the works race, so
nice.
Hopefully that works.
Dude, that would be super cool. Hey, which soundboard button can we hit for Motivation Monday?
Yeah,
we got to figure it out. Like
I think
the cheers or something?
I think, well, we're done, so it's the cheers, but I think maybe the hype intro.
All right.
You're all pumped on it.
Thanks, James Jaramillo, for joining us for Motivation Monday. Woo! All right, James.
All right, see you guys.
We'll catch you later, bud. Thanks. Man, that was super cool. I think that those types of stories are so valuable, man. Caden Danbury said James is killing the game. He really is, man. So it's neat to see that, though, dude. Like, everybody faces that adversity. Everybody does.
For sure.
So whenever you have those opportunities to see other people facing adversity, not that we're comparing ourselves to him, but pushing through it, like, you can take that as motivation huge.
You totally can. Like right now, Tyrone's talking about tacos, and I wish I could go to California for tacos. But tomorrow, I'm trying to figure out how, because it's going to be a mess tomorrow, regardless of what you do.
Are you trying not to go on the streets?
I don't want to be anywhere tomorrow.
I'm going to be on I-10.
So with that said, like, I think it's going to be hard for me to get tacos tomorrow. So I'm already trying to figure out, like, where do you...
We got an in. Check this out. So there's a taco truck. It's called Monkey King, on in Tucson, Arizona. It's on Valencia in Rita Ranch, right by the trailhead.
For Fantasy Island? No way.
Yeah, there's two taco trucks there. Mono King. I gave him a 10x20 easy up. For a Rockstar Easy Up, so you can satisfy more customers. Nice. So go in there and just be like, dude, I like your Easy Up. Like, let's get some tacos going.
Nice, I love it.
They did have a freaking Trump flag seller right next door, though, so I don't know. It might be mayhem.
You're not sure what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. You might have to risk it. Hey, so we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will have Ronnie Anderson up in just a few minutes. So we'll see you guys in a sec.
Hello, I'm Justin, the founder of Shock Therapy. Shock Therapy has been around for 5 years, but we have personally been tuning suspension on off-road cars and race vehicles for over 25 years. We tune between 10 and 15 cars per day, every single day of the week. Our concentration is tuning shock systems and supplying components that improve the ride quality of your car in many ways. Not only do we work on the average UTV, but we also tune suspension for race teams and professional drivers. We currently tune for over 87 race teams in Best in Desert and Score. Our clients and race teams rely on our suspension components to allow them to win races and keep them safe. Suspension is a moving target. We are always trying to hit that target with every customer that we work with. Each customer's needs can be different, and we tune our kits accordingly. Our research and development never stops. We improve our components every single day. As the industry evolves and improves, so do our parts and kits. As of right now, we have over 100 products for UTVs. So when you bring your car to us, you have the satisfaction of knowing that you have the most experience, the highest quality products, and the fact that your car is being tuned specifically to you.
Zollinger Racing builds the best aftermarket products available. Products for your UTV or snowmobile, including billet radius rods, billet tie rods, billet steering knuckles, billet steering racks, alternator kits, and much more. All manufactured in the United States in-house at their headquarters in Nibley, Utah. Travis Zollinger and his team test in some of the most brutal conditions, racing in places like the Best in the Desert Mint 400, Ultra 4 King of the Hammers, UTV World Championships, and many more. Visit ZollingerRacingProducts.com and use the code DIRTLIFE to get 10% off your next purchase, and join us on social media at Zollinger Racing Products to see our products in action. Zollinger Racing, the best products, period. Yeah, finally, we got Lance from Solderweld in the studio. Thanks for coming down, bud. Hey, why don't we just record a commercial now?
Yeah, why not? So good to be here, man. It's been a lot. I'm trying to get down here forever, and I wanted to talk about the off-road kit.
Dude, I love those things. I got it in my pack.
Yeah, we're running hundreds of vehicles now running them, whether it's a UTV or some guy's got it in a backpack on his motocross. He's got everything he needs to make a fix right there on the fly, out on the trail, or in the desert, whatever it is.
Well, since I've already used one, I kind of know what to use it for, but explain what it does.
All right, so let's pull one out real quick. You've got your aluminum rods. Remember, they're rods, right? So, light torch, small torch. You can throw it in there or throw it on the rig with your flux. It decontaminates and cleans like, let's say, a radiator. You get a random rock chip runs through as you're racing. You get a rock chip in a radiator. You got to fix it right there or you're out of the race.
You can patch it up.
You can patch it up. It's all good to go.
Yep, just like welding.
Yeah, also as well with that, you've got a brake line fix. So with your flux, you can fix a brake line, stainless steel, and then your hot block, heat absorption putty. So it keeps you from getting burned, number one, as well as keeps the heat from traveling. So it's really nice.
I've used this not even to fix anything, so that stuff works so good, man.
Listen, it's easy. It straps in nicely so that you have everything you need in one little place, and you don't have to carry a big bag in
it's
the
It's like a first
truck.
aid kit for your vehicle.
Yeah, Chase trucks have it as well, so that if they need to make a fix on the fly, they can get it done and get it done quick and get you back in the race.
Dude, those things are so cool. All right, so it's at Solderweld on Instagram, Facebook, and solderweld.com.
Awesome.
All right, thanks, bud.
Appreciate it.
All right, thanks for joining us on Monday night. We got our featured guest, a champion off-road racer. He actually just won the UTV World Championship as well. He's been driving off-road stuff for a long time. He's also into pit bikes. He has fun at the dunes. He likes going to the river. And, he's just got a good off-road community behind him with Walker Evans Racing, his dad, and as well as his brother, RJ Anderson. We'd like to welcome Ronnie Anderson to the show. What's up, bud?
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me.
Oh, dude, fired up, little. I wish Ronnie could hear him.
I know,
So Casey just played the sound effects.
I got to get the cheers.
Yeah, he's super into the sound effects tonight, dude. This is like a new world for him.
Yeah, it is.
Like when you're a kid and you figure out how to press the buttons on a play set or whatever. Like that's how Casey is tonight.
Totally. Like the what was that thing where you pulled it and it's like the cow says.
Dude, that's it. So what's going on, man? How's things going?
Oh, good. Just getting ready for the Works race here in a couple weeks, and just excited to finally get a little bit break from racing and focus in on next year.
Yeah, that's a good point actually to bring up. Is 2020 has been real weird, but it's been. I guess there's been some positive points because like now, like at the end of the year, all this racing's coming up, right?
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely a really, really interesting year. I mean, Lucas had a kind of interesting schedule, but just looking forward to put it behind us and just focus here on 2021 and really make it our year.
Yeah,
so 2020.
Yeah, 2020 was wah, wah, wah.
For sure.
So there was a couple things that I wanted to start off the conversation by asking you. It was first, when was the first time you ever got into, or like maybe your first race, or like ever got into an off-road car? You were pretty young, weren't you?
Yeah, I think my first vehicle was a Razor 170 right when they came out, and I believe I was like 7 years old.
Nice.
Dang, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
Before
Yeah,
that,
and then I started racing around 10 in Junior 2 karts.
that's not too bad. That's on 4 wheels though. So what
Yeah.
about before that? So we interviewed your cousin Shelby Anderson, and
Yep.
she had some pretty interesting things to say about a PW50 and her mom.
She sure did.
Yeah, the PW50 up at Graham's house was definitely a family staple.
So you got to rip
Love
that
it.
thing too?
Oh yeah, it was in our family for as long as we can remember.
Hey, Casey, what did she say?
my
Did she say it
favorite
was
thing.
blue or yellow? Which PW50 was it?
I don't remember actually.
What color?
I think it's blue one. Blue one, yeah.
Oh, so that was that new.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Kids.
that's so awesome though. Just to think about it, that PW50 hasn't changed for a billion years,
It's
and they
insane.
all just motoed it. Like,
Totally.
Oh yeah.
Old Faithful. That's pretty awesome. So when did you start riding that bad boy though?
I don't know, maybe 5. I don't know. Hard for me to say. Maybe 4,
Dude,
somewhere around there.
that's so cool though, right? And then just graduates at 7 to be in a off-road car, because those Polaris 170s for a little kid are pretty
Yeah,
potent,
that's no
dude.
joke.
Oh yeah.
So what
Definitely.
what do you think about the 170s now? Because those things are pretty competitive, dude. Those kids are no slouches.
Yeah, the Razor 170s are absolutely crazy. I mean, the 170 class is cool, but I mean, the 250s now that they have them, those things are absolutely killing it. I mean, they're so fast. I can't believe some of those kids can wheel those things around a works track or a Lucas track as fast as they do right now.
Dude, they huck some serious
So
stuff, though.
is it like the Razor
Yeah.
170, but it's got a 250 engine?
Yeah, what-
Is that what it is?
Do they use
Yeah,
a spec
so they
engine?
so they have a Razor 170 class that's a spec engine, and then the 250 class is fully modified, and they make like some crazy like 25 horsepower out of that engine or something, and they absolutely scoop.
That's pretty cool.
Is it still a CVT or does it have gears?
No, it's still a CVT like chain drive.
Dude, oh, the chain drive one? Oh, okay. So it
Yeah.
is basically just a different motor then.
Yeah, no, it's the same engine, just bored out and stroked, and I mean they absolutely go all out on the engines on those things now.
So I got to go in the pits at the UTV World Championship and see the kids. So they had the 170s and the 250 guys on course at the same time for whatever I was watching. And so the only time we could really see them was when they go down pit lane. And some of those kids in the 250 class that Ronnie's talking about were, dude, full wood going through the pits. They were probably cooking 40, 50 miles an hour through there, fast.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they get after it for sure.
Yeah, I wish we had those when we were all little, right?
Oh yeah,
Well,
definitely.
the 250s at least.
Yeah.
So, excuse me, when you started the dirt life, you started it really early because your family's all into the dirt and stuff like that. Did you want to do 2 wheels, or did you kind of just gravitate towards the 4-wheel stuff?
Yeah, we've definitely our whole family's been in off-road since I was born, really before I was born. So it was kind of natural to be up into 4 wheels. We never really got a chance to do 2 wheels. My mom shut us down at an early age from racing on 2 wheels. She was not having it. She said absolutely not, no 2-wheel racing, only 4 wheels with a cage. So I guess looking back on it, pretty smart because not many injuries in the 4-wheel world, but the 2-wheel world, man, those guys are absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. There's too many injuries that happen there. Although 2 wheels is fun, but it is neat to see that you can actually be a little bit safer when you're actually having almost as much fun racing a 4-wheel vehicle, you know?
Yep.
Caden Danbury just chimed in. I don't actually know what that comment means, but full of go-kart parts, same case. So those 250s must seem pretty good. Another question that I thought would be you'd be good to answer is you guys have obviously been in off-road for a long time, but side-by-sides weren't always around when your brother started and stuff, and you've got to see the progression since day one. From what you got into in the Razor 170s, the Razor 800s, and now with the RS1 and the Turbo S and the Pro XP, the game is getting big, dude. What do you think?
Yeah, I remember I think I was 5 or 6 years old, maybe even smaller, maybe 4. And I was older. I was probably 6 or 7 years old when my brother started racing an 800 in the course series back in the day against Rhinos and the Kawasaki Terexes. And I think there was 25 of them, and it was absolutely crazy how many of them there were for just barely stock vehicles. And then now to see it come from a Razor 800 and the Rhinos and Kawasaki Terexes and all that stuff to what it is today with the Pro XP and the Turbo S, and just really cool to see the progression from what they had 4 or 5 inches of travel to now they have almost 20, 22. So super cool to see how the progression's been hitting the sport, and definitely crazy to see where it's going to go from now.
Well, we'll talk about a little bit more about you coming up through the ranks and stuff too. But to going on what you're just last comment, you're basically at the top level of the short course game right now, racing a Turbo S in the turbo class, production turbo class. Those lap times that you guys are doing are pretty close to you also race a Pro Light. They're pretty close, dude. Like, it's phenomenal to see that a UTV can go as fast as the bigger trucks.
Yeah, they're definitely getting way out of hand. I run the Turbo S chassis with the Pro XP motor, trans clutches, and turbo now. So a little bit of the upgrade on the horsepower from the stock Turbo S stuff. But it's definitely getting way out of hand. Corey absolutely kills it too in our class, and it's just definitely pushing each other on who's gonna be the next one to up the game. So really cool to be running almost the same times as the trucks. I think some tracks we are faster than the Pro Light trucks. We're just a little bit slower than the Pro 2s still, but not by much. 5/10, 6/10.
I think it's because 4-wheel drive is like cheating no matter what.
Oh, definitely.
Just don't break it.
Do you have a preference?
The four-wheel drive
exactly.
part, I mean.
Well, and those differentials are in the front aren't usually that strong.
Right.
Do you have a preference on which you like driving? Because like a Pro Light is it's not an easy truck to drive because you got to keep so much momentum. It's like
two-wheel drive.
It's kind of like back in the day, 125s on a Supercross track. Like you got to keep full momentum.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. They're definitely two totally separate driving styles and stuff. The Razor with 4-wheel drive, super light. We're at 1,900 pounds. With me in it, and 4-wheel drive, a lot less horsepower, so definitely totally different. Run a different tire. The truck, 550 horsepower, heavier, and just absolute 2-wheel drive, absolute wild to drive. You're on 2 wheels almost every corner, and if you're not going fast enough for sure in the Pro Light. So, they're both really fun to drive. I enjoy both of them. The 4-wheel drive is a lot of fun to be able to flick it in there and know it's going to stick almost every time. And the Pro Light's just absolutely rowdy. Just the battles we have in that class, and just me, Brock Hager, Christopher Fardy, Cole Mamer, just epic battles that we have is really hard to beat.
Yeah, that is true.
Do you feel like things happen in the 2-wheel drive truck faster than they happen with the Razor because it's more predictable? Like,
Definitely.
There's so much of this happening that I feel like
so much wheeling happening.
Yeah, that in the 2-wheel drive truck, obviously, just because what it is, that things happen. Those things are happening so fast in your brain to make the correction. I guess is what I'm getting at. It's still happening in the car.
Yeah, because you're driving behind you with the rear
right.
end.
But backing it in, and then you get bumped, and now it's the other way, and it just seems to me like if you're good at that, you can probably race anything.
Yeah.
Would you agree to that, or is that or is that too general?
I would say it's a little general, but I definitely agree. A Pro Light is definitely one of the hardest things that I've ever driven. It's tough to say. I wouldn't say you could drive anything because it is two totally different driving styles. Like I said, from a 2-wheel drive to a 4-wheel drive.
Sure.
Line choice, how the track ruts up, everything is a little different. So it's hard for me to say that you could do that, but I would say the Pro Light's definitely pretty hard to drive.
So okay, how about this? So if you don't mind,
he's driven the bigger trucks too.
I know, right? So that it's perfect to have that comparison. So if money's no object and you are set out to be, obviously you're already set out to be this guy, but set out to be the best off-road race driver there is. Period. End of story. But you got to pick one. Which one do you cut your teeth on?
Like what class?
Yeah. Which one you cut your teeth on because
Dude, how could you not go Pro 4, though?
Well, because that's the baddest thing
down.
ever, right? Okay.
Pro 4, hands down.
Okay.
Dude, yeah, those things are insane.
Absolutely.
But you can't go just to a Pro 4. You got to do all the hard legwork like what he's doing. You got to know how to drive a Pro Light. Then you got to know how to drive, a UTV. And then, dude, I think
So maybe that's not right to put it, because I'm putting in the genres that I've raced to be able to say you definitely did that to perfect those, because then when you go to the others, now you have that as a base. So what would happen if money?
Yeah, for sure.
What would happen if money was no object and somebody who doesn't really get it is like, here you go, Pro 4. That wouldn't go over very well, would it?
No, for sure. I think you got to kind of go through the steps. Start in the junior karts, go to mod karts, go to UTVs, go to Pro Light, go to Pro 2, and then Pro 4. I think you got to kind of work your way up. So you get the experience, you get the maturity, that comes along with doing all those classes, and just gaining the respect of your fellow racers and stuff like that.
That's the huge one.
Yep.
Okay, so talking about that, like Ronnie would be able to answer this. So like what I've learned in the short time that I've been in off-road, well, short time being 5 years now, but so it's kind of like motocross used to have a 125, a 250, and a 500 class, right? Like, so the 500 class was like the big dogs. Like, you would think that, oh my God, they have the most horsepower. They're like the biggest ones. They'd be the best ones. But 250s was always the ones that you wanted to win the championship. And what I think I've learned in off-road is that Pro Light is a stepping stone. Pro 2 is the most wanted to win, like everybody wants to win that championship.
Highly
and
coveted.
Pro 4 is just like the baddest trucks you can drive, right? So what's the most like prestigious one that everybody wants to do? Is it the Pro 2s?
I think right now the Pro 2 category is definitely more sought after, just because there's more trucks in the class. With Pro 4 kind of dying down just because it is so expensive. The trucks are a lot to keep going. So I think Pro 2 right now, because there's so many people and everyone at kind of the top level of off-road is racing Pro 2s, I think that's probably the more sought after one right now. But we've seen this before in off-road. Pro 4 will make a comeback, I think, and then Pro 4 will be the most sought after. I think if you win a Pro 4 championship, I think that is the cream of the crop. And just to be able to tame that 900 horsepower four-wheel drive is just
that's true.
What was your favorite truck to drive, like that you've driven so far?
Oh man, favorite truck. I haven't driven the Pro 4, so I can't say RJ won't let me drive it yet. But the Pro 2, I drove the Pro 2 before they took some horsepower away from them, and the Pro 2 was pretty rad. I mean, you could toss it in a lot harder than a Pro Light, and had so much traction off compared to a Pro Light 2, because they had projects on them still, and it was just, you weren't breaking your back every jump with only 12 inches of travel. You had almost 20 now, and I would say the Pro 2 is by far the most fun to drive.
That's super cool, man. And then as far as Casey, maybe you could read Alfonso's comment, but as far as like the evolution of like things that are going on, like we talked about it a little bit before, like how motocross is changing to kind of be more of a NASCAR business orientated sport, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. So like there's a team like Star Racing Yamaha, and then Yamaha gives them all of the funding and all of the support and stuff like that. Troy Lee now has Gas. KTM and Honda still have their factory efforts, but soon that will change. Do you think that the off-road industry itself is like positioned pretty good to have that? Because like you guys, for instance, you guys have RJ37 off-road, and then if a manufacturer or if somebody else like Polaris or somebody wants to come in and have a full-on factory effort similar to what motocross does, it's pretty easy to do plug and play that way, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think it'd be super cool to have the UTV brands, all of them. I think for all of them, it would be cool to pick a series kind of deal and have their factory teams, with a couple drivers under the tent and stuff like that. I think that would be really cool. But I'm not sure it's quite there yet. Maybe in the next few years, I think we could see something like that, definitely. But it's going to be interesting to see. Maybe once some other manufacturers come out with the turbo models and stuff like that, then it'll be a little more competitive, because we have so many brands that are going to be at the top level.
I think that's actually a good point. Sorry to interrupt you for asking Alfonso's comment, but maybe it is the brand and the OEMs need to come out with a more like obviously the dirt bikes, you have a 250 and a 450, right? Like it's pretty straight across the board. Right. Like if the manufacturers were able to position themselves like that, where it's a little bit closer of a vehicle, then that could happen easier.
Yeah, to Alfonso's question, it's kind of it's an odd one. I like it. It's some thought-provoking question for sure. So he says, what do you think the next evolution will be? Production trophy trucks, which obviously that's not going to work, but it gets you thinking, like, is there the next platform that all the side-by-side companies do that is like this one-off weird one? I wonder. Maybe, I don't know, because then the next thing is when you start throwing too many classes, because you said it yourself, like everybody right now, Pro 2 would be the highly coveted because that's where that's the focus, right? Everyone's doing it. That's the big class. When you do all these other ones, it ends up being like everybody gets a trophy kind of thing.
Yeah, it's too sprinkled
and
around.
then it's too much. So now it's like this little micro focus and this little micro focus here where, racers just want to go win the best one that they can win. So, yeah, I don't know. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, definitely. It's hard to say. I think the least amount of classes to have is definitely where it's at. I think there is a spot for all of the classes. Whether it's scale them down to the regionals or whatnot. But
right,
especially in the UTV world, I think they already kind of have something like that where they do have the thousands and then they have the turbos. And I think they all do a pretty good job of regionals has a pretty good showing for both, and then both the national series have a pretty good showing. So East Coast has a really, really good showing at Champ Offroad for both UTV classes and their amateur 1000 class. So I think it's pretty cool to see that. And I think it's all based on kind of where you're at and stuff like that, because the East Coast has really good showings for both the amateur and the pro classes.
That makes up a really good point that Ronnie brings up, though, is like if you didn't have that versatility from the OEMs, you may not get those turnouts. Like in the East Coast, the tracks are different, a little bit of the racing structure is different, the vehicles that those guys choose are a little bit different. So if they were to form it like the way that motocross is, where it's just these two CC bike platforms, it wouldn't work as well.
Right.
So,
yeah, it's got to be a good mix.
Yeah.
And at the heart of why this stuff is blowing up is because you can, I'm going to, again, make a generalization that's not great, but you can, for the layman, turnkey a race car.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
really can. It's not going to be exactly, but I could tomorrow go do that and then go race a production.
Dude, it only took us 4 weeks because I took my time, but 4 weeks to build that RS1 to race the UTV World Championship, and all I had to do was give it to the people that I trusted, and then it was a good race car.
Right, and to that point, it's not going to work. So just follow me down this little thought experiment. You could literally go pick one up tomorrow and enter it. It's going to not be perfect.
Well, that's kind of what Tyrone said. He wanted to get a UTV. He just wants one that fits a big dude.
Right.
So
yeah, perfect.
Maybe the Turbo S or like a Ranger, and just pick the series that you want to go in. Tyrone.
General.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the General. Yeah. Sorry.
But to my point, what I'm getting at is that okay, somebody wants to get into some kind of racing, off-road racing. When they drive out and see it, it's not all of a sudden like 70,000 different pieces that have to be put together. And I don't mean pieces of parts. I mean like I need this guy, I need that guy, I need a chassis guy. Like you can.
Oh, you're talking about I could build a Pro 2?
Again, it's a generalization, but yeah, you don't get to go get a Pro 2 tomorrow. Like there's no Pro 2 shop to go, pull one off the rack. So I'm sure that's why it's just going to keep continuing if they keep keeping that at the base of it.
Yeah, I wonder how you could standardize it more, but I guess that's just kind of, we'll just see where the industry goes. That's a long answered question.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, obviously. So to get a short answer, this might be a long answer too. Dude, we saw on social media, how's the limo doing?
Oh man, we finally picked it up. It's been at my grandma's for 3 months now.
No,
dude. We took it to the river, I think about 2 or 3 months ago, and we ended up blowing a head gasket 15 miles from before we got there. So we started up to go get food one of the times, and we didn't even make it out of our driveway. It just went up in steam, and then we're like, oh no, we're stuck here. We ended up getting it towed home, and we were just so busy that the race season finally picked back up, and we were racing all the time. So we stashed it up in my grandma's house for the last 2 or 3 months, and then
was it
finally,
stashed up by the PW50 somewhere? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, exactly. She was buried over by the trees, and it was absolutely worked. It's dirty. It had a left front flat tire, has a blown head gasket. It just
all right, dude. So
battery was dead. Battery was dead when we got there. We had to jump it, and it just kept getting worse and worse.
Wait, dude, it sounds like a hot mess, but were the seats still good in the back of the limo?
Oh, yeah. No, the back's cherry.
Yeah.
Would the PW50 fit in there?
Probably you could go pick it up. So Casey's never seen the limo, and maybe some of our audience members don't know what we're talking about. So first of all, you can go to at Ronnie Anderson 52 and check out his social media because he posted some stuff with the limo on there. But give us a little description because this thing is bad, dude. It's a little dusty right now, but it's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
You tried
it's a little
it?
dusty right now, but I believe it's like a 1990 Lincoln Town car that was stretched. And it used to be, I forget who used to own it. And RJ saw it on Craigslist, and it was like a smoking deal. And he was just like, man, I feel like we should go check this out. And he went and checked it out. Even got it for a better deal, I believe, than what it was listed for.
Talked him down.
And he ended up bringing it home that day. And then he had it for about a year or so. And then he decided to take it across country to all the way from here in California where we live to Crandon, Wisconsin. And he had it wrapped in the American flag
The
wrap.
Crandolina wine mixer?
For the mixer, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude.
Exactly. Ended up wrapping it in the American flag and called it the All-American Road Trip. It was pretty funny.
I need to see it.
That's so awesome. I can just picture this. Like, so RJ's going to buy this, and he's like, sees the ad, wife's limo, never duned. Like, goes up, and he's like, hey, I see a couple things. Like, there's a little scratch right here. I'm going to have to take off $500. What do you think about this?
Not thrash.
Like, wheeling and dealing on this thing.
For sure.
Can you imagine when this deal goes down, how fun that would have been?
Oh, it was pretty funny.
You can see it on the lot, like, no AC, smokes a little. That's what the stickers say on the windshield.
Leaks a little bit of oil.
Yeah.
So you were talking about like having fun going across the country. We know that you guys do. That's one of the best things about dirt life, right? Is like, so we all have the same, common interests and stuff. We like going trail riding. We like doing all this stuff. But you guys actually do some pretty cool stuff when you go like on these trips to these races and stuff. You guys bring friends with you. You guys travel across the country together. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, for sure. It's always rad to travel the country. I actually like driving way better than I do flying. I think it's more interesting, more fun. Road trips are always more fun than just flying a few hours. So, man, it's always fun with the whole crew and everything. We always pack up and head out a little early sometimes just so we can enjoy the road trip. And yeah.
Sometimes you get to travel with one of our friends of the show, as Casey calls him, Miles Cheek.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Does he ever
sometimes Miles, we road trip together and yeah, it's really fun.
Does he ever cook good food?
Oh yeah, Miles always kills it on the food. We went to a country concert I think 2 years ago and he got up on the grill and everyone was just blown away.
Dude, see, so I saw him like just it was actually right before we played Are You Smarter Than a Third Grader with your brother at the last Lucas race. Miles was cooking like, dude, it was like a gourmet meal on the skillet or whatever you call it, the grill top. And I was like over there sitting there just like drooling at the mouth because I wanted to taste it, but I had to work and go film some stuff. I was like, man, I just wish I could just like stop working for the day, but I know I'd be in a coma because I'd want so much food. Like, it was so awesome.
But what's his setup like? Like, if you bring him, there's obviously benefits, right? You're like, hey, bring Miles because you know you're going to get some food, right? He's obviously a friend. But at the same time, you're like, yeah, we can get some food. So does he have to have, like, this big old thing, or has he got, like, the miracle couple things?
That's true. Like, how does he do it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Honestly, it seems like it's pretty simple, but I don't know. He just seems to kill it every time.
That's the way it goes, though. It always seems like it's super simple to win a race, but you got to put in so much work. So for Miles, like, he's putting in all this work behind the scenes, and he's just whipping up this badass stuff.
Yeah, because if you think about it,
for sure.
Think about any of the ladies, the women, grandma, mom in your life, right? And they're all like, no, you ain't getting my whatever recipe, right? That's how it is. So there's no way it's just, a little of this and a little of that. He's got to have the dialed setup.
Yeah.
Like, it's probably some big, giant Mac toolbox or something, that's
with all the stuff. He brings a toolbox to the track, but it has no tools in it. It's just all spices
full
and
of
stuff.
seasoning. Yeah.
Well, Caden Danbury just chimed in and said that I don't know what this actually means either. Caden, you're gonna have to be a little bit more descriptive on your comments, dude.
I think
it says,
it means for that drive across the country or whatever.
Oh, so did you have a vlog for the limo drive?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, I gotta check this out, dude.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while back. I think it was Crandon 2 years ago, I believe.
Dang, I'm gonna have to dig through the RJ37 archives. Is that where I'm going?
Yeah, I think Crandon 49th year, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so 2 years ago.
We got another comment that came in. So Tyrone commented back to us saying, "I just want to trail drive and Glamis." So I'm going to say
General.
I don't know, dude.
I think it's the General.
The Turbo S gets up some of those dune hills and stuff pretty good, man.
But I feel like
the Turbo S gets through it pretty good. The Pro XP in the cab has a lot more room than the Turbo S. I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot more roomy. I'm 6'4", skinny, but tall, and I fit a lot better in the Pro XP.
Yeah, I like those big calves, man. So maybe you should check out that Pro XP, Tyrone, see if you can get in one of those bad boys, and then we can go rip, dude. Steve Westfall said that he wanted to go on a Razor ride. I'm sure Ronnie will jump in. So next time I'm in Southern California, I'll bring us side by side, and we can all go shred, dude.
Yeah, that'd be fun, for sure.
So, hey, are there good trails out there? I've been traveling all around Riverside County, dude, so I'm like on a mission.
It's there's some good, decent stuff, kind of down by. For deserty stuff, there's Superstition, Ocotillo Wells has kind of the better stuff for the south end, and then there's some really good stuff though once you kind of go up northern, like Mojave Valley. We did a ride from Mojave Valley to Big Pine actually, and then we were supposed to end up in Mammoth, but the fire was kind of short. About a month ago, we did this ride, and it was really fun.
Dude, that sounds like a nice ride. What was Steve talking about? What did he just say? He went to a ghost town or something?
Yeah, he called it. What did he call it?
It was just in Riverside, though,
yeah,
wasn't
he did.
it?
Darn it! What the heck was it?
Is there a ghost town like right by you in Riverside that Steve was telling us about? Because he said he can ride from his house like out back, and it was like a little ghost town area.
I thought he said like bomb something.
Oh, the bomb shelter or something?
That's what he called it. Bomb shelter.
Oh, the bomb shelter. Yeah.
There
That's over in Paris. It's a skydiving place.
Okay.
And he could just drive from his house?
Yeah, probably. My brother's done it before. He lives in Menifee, and he could go out of his door too and then end up at the bomb shelter. They have like food and drinks and stuff, and then they skydive out of there also.
Nice.
That sounds familiar to me.
Dude, I'm so into that. All right, Tyrone, go get yourself a Razor, dude, and we'll go out there and hit it up.
He's going to Glamis for Thanksgiving.
Oh, is it? I wonder what he's going to drive out there.
I don't know.
Hey, so news. I don't know if I've said this before. Breaking news. George's CRF 110 2021 is going to land in November, dude. You got a pit bike we can go rip?
Oh, man. Sadly, no. I stay off those
Breaking
things
news.
now. Like I said, I'm a little too tall. I bought a 2020 Honda. I had it for about 2 weeks. I ended up going over the bars the first day. The second day, I ended up tearing my ACL on it, and then I instantly sold it.
Dude, you just went that ham the first 2 days? You should have gradually went into this thing, dude.
So you've seen those teeny little
oh, the mini motorcycles?
Yes, that's how I feel on a pit bike, period.
Well, you're about the same size as Ronnie. Ronnie might have you by like an inch. Yeah. Is that how you felt on your mini bike?
Yeah, for sure. I need to go to like a KLX 140 or something a little bigger.
What does Miles have? Doesn't he have one of those?
Yeah, he has a 140.
Yeah, there you go. Just upgrade the size a little bit, and we can go rip, dude. Because, again, I've been in Southern California so much, dude. When I get that 110, I want to go hit some little jumps.
Yeah, for sure.
And doesn't shoot, I just forgot their names, but the Leverton boys, don't they have a track out there?
Oh, yeah. They have a rad track not too far from me over in Nuevo.
Dude, perfect. Yeah, so I'm into that, man. Hey, so one thing that, well, I'm not upset about this, but I wish that I could have gone as fast as Ronnie. But you just won the UTV World Championship, dude.
Yeah, super stoked. Every time I've raced that race, I have DNF. Every time I've DNF'd and finally brought one home.
Dude.
How's that feel? I mean, it's a stupid question, but I'm sure
it's one of the biggest races of the year, dude. It's like winning the Motocross of Nations.
But with all that adversity before, like, do you go into that like, here we go again? Or is it like reset?
Not this year, just because it was a totally different track. I mean, it was a totally different event in Havasu instead of Laughlin, and it was a track that no one's ever been. And it was cool. They allowed pre-running and stuff, so went out there and pre-ran, and I really jumped with the track. We have a House of Needles that's only 30, 40 minutes away from there. And our train is the exact same as that race was. So I felt really comfortable with how the track was and stuff. And, just was so pumped when I finally crossed the finish line. And I got the official word that we won, and just super pumped for the whole RJ37 crew because they worked so hard on all of our cars and stuff. And, just was super excited.
Yeah, it was really cool. And to see the smile on his face on the podium was awesome. But, dude, he's the one that started all the dust. He dusted me out, man, because I was on the course at the same time. No, you were so far ahead, dude. It was awesome to see that you guys were charging that hard. So, like, I didn't obviously get to see you when I was on course, but I looked at some of the lap times and some of the section times and stuff for everybody. Dude, he was ripping. Like, he was shredding pretty hard. That first lap, you were charging, dude.
Yeah, definitely. I got lucky. I got really lucky on the whole shot, and I knew that was the key after pre-running, because we ran into some traffic pre-running, and it was super dusty. So just got lucky with the whole shot, and I knew once I got the whole shot, just kind of put it on cruise control, run 85% because the dust was going to be so bad behind me, and I knew I didn't have to push too hard to break the car.
Did you have
No
a pretty
big deal.
Yeah, no big deal.
No
Just
big
like
deal.
Steve Westfall, no big deal, bro. Just go with the flow.
Plan your work and work your plan.
Hey,
It's that easy.
Did you have to
Nice work.
face any adversity? You have any issues with tires or anything like that, or you just kind of, like you said, 85% cruise?
Yeah, I mean, we pre-ran, so I knew kind of exactly what mile markers and stuff all the rock gardens were going to be at and things like that. So once I would get to a certain mile marker, I would slow it down, cruise for that half mile or 3/4 of a mile that those rock sections were, and just make sure I had no flats, just made sure I didn't make many mistakes. And then where I knew it was going to be wide open, I would let it eat a little more and just try to make no mistakes the whole time. And I think that was the key.
Dude, will you agree with this statement? Like when I was out there, like so we pre-ran, but then on race day, like a lot of the lines that we pre-ran, like some of those really slow, like rock crawling sections, the wash, those weren't even lines anymore. You just went around them on like a big hill.
Strava sections.
Yeah.
It was kind of like that, Strava sections.
Yeah.
Like I went up to it and I'm like, I'm supposed to go left here. Like I remember pre-running going left, but the main line goes like all the way to the right. Like I better take this because maybe somebody's stuck over here or something. Like I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, I ended up taking the rock crawling sections just because I didn't know, like what the course rules were, or, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of I took the rock crawl sections anyway, just because I figured if I'm in the lead and get a penalty, that would just be horrible.
Terrible.
Yeah, well, I didn't know which way to go, and there was somebody
Good
in
on
front of
you.
me, so I just went in the normal line, and then the next lap, I obviously went in the other lane. But I was like, dude, where do all these lines come from? And so for me, like, I've never really raced desert before. I've raced like a local desert race in Arizona, but like that was a totally different world, dude. Like I got off the track and I was like, dang, things change quick in the desert.
Oh yeah, definitely. Even on the second lap, I think some people had ran over some of the course markings and stuff, and I got off track, and then I was like, wait, I'm not on the track anymore. I had to turn around, went backwards on the track actually, and then ended up finding a marker, turned back around on the track, and then I was like, okay, I know I'm on the track here. Went slow, and then ended up finding where I made my mistake, and then ended up continuing on. But
oh, that's why your lap time the second lap was a little slower. But dude, the same thing happened to me, except for we were like back in the pack in the dust on the first lap, and I got turned around because somebody blew out a course marker. It was probably the same area where we got lost. It was kind of like after that first goat trail, and then it was like
yep. And then there's like there's a bunch of ruts going left.
Yeah.
Instead of going straight.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we all got lost right there, and it was like. You can see it from some of the helicopter footage. So, like, there was, like, I don't know, 5,
He had
10
a helicopter, by the way. I don't know if you knew
That was pretty cool. I'm
By
cool,
the way.
cool guy status. That was pretty good.
Just kidding.
But anyway, so, like, we were all cruising around. There was, like, dude, I got lost for 10 minutes, and there was, like, 5 or 10 different cars just cruising. It was, like, mayhem because everybody was going backwards, like, cutting each other off, dude. It was sketch, like, real sketch.
Yeah, for sure.
But it was cool to see that, though. Like, I had never experienced a race like that in my life, and I thought it was pretty neat. And, well, like I said before, like, stuff in the desert changes. It's like night and day compared to short course.
What happens to the desert? Stays in the desert?
Dude, I don't know, man. I couldn't, like, stop talking about it. It was fun.
Yeah, definitely. The course was definitely it was definitely weird. Went through some super tight canyons and then open washes and then got up on the ridges where it was whooped out, and it was definitely a cool course. Had a little bit of everything.
So for anybody that's
Sounds
like that knows that course or whatever, like, what was your favorite part?
Oh man, my favorite part, I think I actually really liked the tight canyons. I thought it was different, for UTV races to kind of show off what UTVs are meant for and stuff. I think that was a really cool course. I think it showed just because big trophy trucks and stuff weren't going to be fitting in those canyons. I think it was really cool UTV specific track, and showed kind of what the UTVs can do. What they're meant for, and how anyone really with the UTV could have gone out there and done the pre-run or done the that
just
poker
gone out
run
and done the
too.
Course. Yeah.
The poker run. That's what I was looking for. Done the poker run and stuff like that. I think it was really cool.
So, dude, exactly what he's talking about. Like, my favorite parts were pretty much like the same answer, but I think it was mile marker. It was a 29-mile track or something like that. So I think it was mile marker 22, where you go all the way to the top of the course, like it's the highest portion of the course, and you kind of have to like really like you're kind of side hilling this big steep hill, but then you go over like this goat trail through all these like there's like whoops on the goat trail.
Nice.
Like pretty big whoops, and then you like go over it and they just drop down into this wash, and on the wash there's big like berms where you can like it's almost like a flow track on a bicycle.
Sweet. Is this that canyon area that you're talking
No,
about?
he's talking about a little different, but this is like the last portion of the track. But like it showed the exact thing Ronnie's talking about with the capabilities of the UTVs, because it was full goat trail, like whoops, like and rocks, so you kind of had to like be careful, but you still had to go fast, and then you could just go balls out.
So Weekend Warrior.
Yeah, that was a cool section.
In their car would have a good time, it sounds like.
Oh, dude, fully. Like a super good time.
Cool.
Yeah, and especially like because mom and the kids can have a good fun time on the roller coaster section, and then dad can get to open it up or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
So I thought that section was pretty cool. But we asked, who was it that we asked just like maybe the last show or the show before, the best part about the UTV World Championship, dude, I think, like, obviously you won, but was getting to see everybody again.
Yeah, for sure. I think that was really cool. Just seeing the whole industry was there, really, and saying what's up to everyone's not seeing them for a while, and just cool that it was in Havasu. A cool place to hang out. Me and some of our buddies got to go out on the water on Saturday.
Nice.
It was just fun. Yeah.
That's cool. Did you guys sleep at your house in Needles, or did you guys have a?
No, nope. I actually stayed at my buddy's house. He has one. He rented one right there in Havasu.
Nice. That's cool.
Do you remember however many months ago when we were talking about that it was announced that it was going to be there?
In Havasu, the UTV, yeah.
Yeah, and all of the positives that we were thinking of, it sounds like it happened. So it's pretty cool because, I mean, he obviously had a great time and a good finish, but on the same token, he's talking about all the other cool stuff that was really happening. So I think it was an enjoyable event for probably everybody, even the people that just came to watch.
Well, and even the people that got blown out, they still had a pretty positive outlook on what happened. The only thing that did suck, and everybody will say the same thing, is there was just too much dust. But I think they're going to kind of solve that for next year because they're going to make it, I think it's a 60-mile course. So the short course guys probably just do one lap, and the desert guys maybe 2 or 3 or something. But I think that might – what do you think it'll help with dust a little bit, Ronnie?
I think, I think so. Just because, I mean, the last 30 miles will definitely get it more spread out, I think with the first 30 miles, if you are still having the minute and a half, I mean, if they spaced us out a row, 4 or 5 minutes, then I don't think you'd have the dust problem anymore, just because the second row could run up on the first row and make up that 4-minute gap, instead of taking off, gaining 30 seconds, and then now already being in the dust.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I think with the 60-mile loop, though, I think you could probably gap us out more with like that 4 minutes or 3.5, whatever it would be. Dude,
that's a good point that he brings up, though, is like that whole pre-running thing was so cool. Like, I've never done that. Like, people go down to Baja and they pre-run and stuff. I've always wanted to do that. But, like, getting to see, like, the experience of going a couple days early from the race and being able to pre-run it. Although I pre-ran it in my dad's Razor 800S, it was kind of brutal. But it was fun because you actually did get to see, like, a lot of what you're going to do. It's kind of like going to practice on a dirt bike.
Right.
Like, you can go practice on the track and then, like, get to see it. But, like, it was rad. In short course racing, especially in the Pro Series, you get 3 laps, so your practice is basically pointless.
Right.
So
yeah, for sure.
It's cool to see that pre-running and the way that they structured the new UTV World Championship. So, well, good on you, dude, for winning, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, thank you guys.
So we're going to probably ask this question a little bit later, but I want more of a long answer. Like, do you have a most memorable race? Like, maybe even when you were little, like, what was your, like, most proudest moment in your short career that you've had so far?
Oh man, I think my last 450 mod cart race was definitely my most memorable race. I mean, My dad absolutely hated trophy carts for whatever reason, but he knew that we had to start out in trophy carts, and my dad absolutely hated them. Just didn't think they were worth spending much money on, so we had a pretty loose program, and finally at the last race that I was going to be out the next year and go to a pro light and do some more UTV stuff, and finally the last race I led it flag to flag. I think we had 10 cautions on the last like 7 laps. We kept having caution, and I finally brought home a win. It was my only win of my motocross career. It was just so cool that it was my last race of the Challenge Cup, going up to Pro Light, and my dad was fun. My whole family was excited, and then my dad's always liked the bigger trucks and stuff a lot more, and taking it a lot more serious.
Where was that at? What track?
Elsinore.
Nice.
Elsinore.
That's a good track too. I love that track.
Yeah, that was a really fun track.
So was he more pumped about never having to touch that thing again?
Definitely, hands down. He was more excited about never touching it again.
He's like, you won, high five, but I never have to deal with that thing.
All right,
again.
Casey. So we're gonna start asking him about his plans of 2021. But maybe you could ask him about holding the flashlight for his dad.
Oh, I'm sure that was anybody that grew up wrenching with pops, right? We all have. How was that? Was that probably the most nerve-wracking thing you ever did?
Stressful job ever.
Yeah, it's definitely was a little stressful when I was younger. I mean, because he runs his own business now and stuff like that. So not only would he be stressed at work, and then he would come home, and then you'd be like, hey, can we work on the trophy card or whatever? And he'd be like, oh yeah, okay. And then just something wouldn't quite go the right way, and then it's just all downhill from there.
Especially when he doesn't want to work on it, right?
I know.
Yeah.
So
hold the flashlight right here.
Yeah, we always ask our guests, like, I don't know, do we ask RJ, his brother? But
we did.
It's always so difficult. Like, Dad's like, here, kid, hold the flashlight. And you can't ever get it.
Right there.
Yeah, nope, not there, right here.
And then we're like, oh, Firefly.
For sure.
Were you a good helper, though, when he was working on all that stuff? Like, have you been able to learn a lot?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely by the end of my motocross career, I was 15, and I could almost do everything by myself. I could change the motors, everything, because I was in high school, and then I would get out, I think, at 1:30 or something, and then I could work on it a little bit before he came home, at least.
Yeah, that's cool. So, like, now, do you do almost all of the work for your guys' race program for all your cars? And
I go there every day. I have a full-time mechanic on my Pro Light, and then I have, his name is Mike Seat, absolutely badass. And then I have Gil Flores. He does a lot of our Razor stuff. He works on all of them, from RJ's to mine. And then I kind of just float around, do whatever.
That's
help
pretty
where
cool.
there needs to be help.
You just sparked an idea or a light bulb in my head. Will you reach out to both your guys and ask them if they want to come on the show? Because I want to get their perspective on how the racing programs are too. Because we got to talk to you and your brother about some stuff, but I would like to get a little bit more behind the scenes if that's cool.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just send me a text tomorrow. Remind me, and I'll ask them for sure.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. All right, so what's the plans for 2021?
Oh, nothing fully locked in yet. We've had a lot of conversations, me and RJ, along with our partners and stuff like that. So, no locked in yet. We're kind of waiting to see on the Champ Offroad schedule. Lucas has came out with theirs. Waiting to see on some other schedules on Works, and thinking about doing some Texplex stuff. Not sure if I'm going to make the whole season. For the Razor stuff. Really liked it when I went out there and did that one race. I thought it was really cool.
What car did you race when you went out there?
They have a lot of my Lucas car. I brought my Lucas car out there.
Dude.
So the Turbo S.
So I didn't see you when you went out there because it was a different race or whatever. But when I went out there, that place looks like heaven on earth, dude. Like, how was it?
Honestly, the most epic short course track for UTV that I've ever raced on. I mean, it has a little bit of everything, a little bit of motocross in it, which I kind of like from the work stuff, the bigger jumps and some hips and stuff like that, which I think is really cool.
Big Talladega turns. Yeah.
Yep. The big bull turns. It was just had almost a little bit of everything in one UTV track. So I thought it was really cool. Definitely. I almost want to take our trucks down out there and drive a little bit. I think that would be a lot of fun too.
How do you think it would feel like hucking the Pro Light over some of those jumps? Because some of those are pretty steep and they have a pretty steep downside too.
Yeah, for sure. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I mean, I wish Lucas and Champ had a little bit more of gnarlier jumps and whoop sections and stuff like that, just because I think our trucks can do it. And I think it would show the sport that it's a little gnarlier than it is right now. And
yeah,
I think it'd be pretty cool.
You'd get way better drivers like that rise to the top too. Like I always hated that about Lucas. You just have a jump to flat. Like it's so lame. It just like hurts your back, and it's like you just jumping and landing on nothing. Like it's like, why can't you make a downside? Like make it a little bit more fun, like more rhythm. But
yeah, for sure.
I guess they got to make it fun for everybody. So
Like the old Mickey Thompson stuff.
how did you feel about when you'd come at us? Because some of those bowl turns were so big that I feel like it would be kind of hard to see the next obstacle.
Yeah, for sure. They were definitely had a lot of angle in them, and then luckily they had enough run into the next corner, enough straightaway that by the time you were straightened out, you could see perfectly fine and stuff.
There's that one big tabletop. I don't know. It's like coming out. You come out of the bottom, and then you do a little like I don't know. It's kind of like a Bubba Scrub jump, and then you just get on like full wood to do that next tabletop. It looks like it's kind of blind. How was that hitting that bad boy?
Yeah, no, that section's really, really fun. I like that little Bubba Scrub jump, little hip action, and then into that big table, and then it kind of went down into like a gravity cavity type deal, right-hander. So that was a really, really fun part of the track, and big air, and then you would come down into that little like gravity cavity right-hander, and it was really cool.
Yeah, dude, that track does really look fun. Hey, are you going to do that? They have a race at Texplex coming up. It's like a 12-hour or 24-hour race or something. Are you going to bust that out?
That sounds cool.
Yeah, I saw that. Me and RJ have been talking about going. I'm not sure that we're going to make it. Just it's a long ways to go for just one race, you know. So
you could take the limo.
Yeah, we actually have a trailer hitch on it. We could tow the Razor behind.
Perfect.
Dude, that would be so epic. Don't need any extra parts because it's 12 hours. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
That's cool, man. Hey, so we really appreciate you coming on, and thanks for letting us know that 2020 is still up in the air. But we do think it's cool. Like one of the things that I was going to mention was, so there's a bunch of stuff that goes on behind the scenes in racing, right? Like Ronnie said, he's at the shop every day. They're always working together. They have this big team effort. And I know that the way that these sponsorship programs go, and you have to get funding, you have to do all these business meetings and stuff like that. So he doesn't have to talk about any of this stuff. But, dude, kudos to you for working so hard to keep the program going the way that you guys want it and see it, because that hard work doesn't go unnoticed, man. Like, it's really cool to see that amount of effort as a guy that thinks he's in the industry, at least, knowing that you guys are putting this hard work in, because it helps everybody, dude. You don't realize it, but there's so many people that get motivation from that.
Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it. I definitely couldn't do it out with my brother. He absolutely kills it on every side of things, business and everything. So definitely wouldn't be where I am without him. He absolutely kills it, and all of our partners that help us out and help us do what we love to do.
Yeah, you probably learned a lot from your dad and your brother too, because they know the way to work in the off-road industry and stuff. So it's cool that you get to see, learn from good people, right? Like Casey and I have had to forge our own paths in some ways, but there was a lot of times that he taught me a bunch of stuff, and I was lucky to have him, and then he was lucky to have his dad to teach him stuff. It's pretty cool to see that, man. That whole dirt life camaraderie thing, it makes you such a different person at the end of the day. Like, you're still young, but you probably see a lot of these things like you're different than most people that are your age, because of all this hard work and dedication that you and your family have done your whole life.
Yeah, I definitely have two of the best coaches, my dad and my brother, two of the best coaches in the off-road game, hands down, on not only driving and setups for my dad and driving for my brother, but the business side of thing, also, talking to sponsors and things like that.
The good thing about it, though, is like you're somebody that a lot of kids look up to as well. So you're paying it forward too. You're showing all these kids what it's like. Like I saw some of the kids that were in the 170 class went over to Ronnie and RJ's pit, and they were helping wash some of the fiberglass panels and stuff like that. They were helping wash tires and wheels and stuff. And Ronnie's over there talking to the kids, having a good time. Like,
so cool.
All of that stuff is really meaningful to people, and he's learned how to be that good person through his whole dirt life.
Definitely.
All right, so we asked your brother these same questions. We're going to go through a rapid-fire Q&A. You want to hit it?
Yeah, let's hit it.
And it's not third grade, so don't worry.
Yeah, it's not third grade.
It's good news.
Dude,
good
so
news.
whatever
Me
the next
too.
race we go to is, we got to get you redemption on your brother for how you're smarter than a third grader.
I know. I barely lost that one, too.
I feel like if
Barely.
you hadn't have given him that last question, because you could have totally pulled the win, but you gave him a bonus question.
I know. I give him that bonus question. He does really good under pressure. I'm not gonna lie. So when I put him under pressure right there, that's where he thrived on, and I let him get the win.
So for anybody that hasn't seen it, we did Are You Smarter Than a Third Grader at the last Lucas race of the season, and you can check it out on our YouTube channel, The Dirt Life Show, and you can see Ronnie battling against his brother. It was pretty epic. So, all right, Case, what's the first rapid fire question?
All right, you ready for this?
Oh yeah.
Dunes or the river?
Oh, river hands down.
Dang, dude, I thought you were into the dunes, though.
I'm into the dunes, but man, the river, it's just water in the summer and then desert in the winter. You can't go wrong with a little dual setup like that.
Dude, that's true. All right, three-wheelers or quad?
Oh man, three-wheelers, just because they're so sketchy.
Totally. 100% agree.
What did RJ pick? Do you remember? I forgot what he picked.
I think he did, too.
He got three-wheelers?
Yeah, we weren't surprised, so I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah.
Cian Cirillo or Osborne? Dang, those are both my guys.
Ooh. Man, that's tough,
isn't it?
I think I've got Cianciarillo just because he's the young kid coming up through the ranks, and he's absolutely killing it.
So one thing that we didn't ask Steve Westfall about was, like, dude, Cooper Webb's been, like, real. I feel like he's going to come out firing at Supercross.
No doubt. 100.
Dude, I feel like he's going to come out real good.
I don't think they're ready.
Well, maybe not.
That's what I think is going to happen.
You think?
I do.
Well, I don't know. I feel like Osborne's pretty ready.
No,
dude.
he is, but I don't think I don't think any of us are ready for what he's got coming up.
In the tank?
That's what I think.
Yeah, maybe. What do you think about Webb coming out? You think he's going to come out strong, or you think he's going to come out just eh?
I don't know. He seems to be struggling a little bit lately. He struggled last Supercross season, and then he seemed to struggle a little bit, or he didn't even do outdoors. So,
dude,
I don't know. I guess we'll see.
That's why I think it's in the tank.
He blew himself out pretty hard,
totally
though.
did. That's why I think it's coming.
Well, we got to talk about this, but this, what's your favorite food?
Oh, favorite food? That's tough. I think I'm going to go with sushi. I'm a big sushi guy.
Oh, okay. So, all right. Well, this is not going to mean as much then. I was going to say anchos, but it's not, huh?
I am a big anchos fan, though. That's my favorite Mexican food restaurant. That counts for anything.
So
the whole family, it sounds like.
Yeah, so Shelby was the one that turned me on to that place. I went over there. I didn't really care for the tacos weren't that great, but then RJ goes, how many tortillas did you eat? Because they're like these puffy tortillas. I go, dude, you got me. I ate like 20 of those things.
Nice.
They give you bean dip, salsa, and these puffy tortillas. It's almost like a pita bread, dude.
That sounds
And they're
great.
super warm and like ready to go. It's so nice.
I want some right now.
All right, what's the next one, Case?
Little Smokies or pizza rolls?
Oh, pizza rolls, hands down.
Dude, I had a grip of them yesterday, too.
How many scars do you have on the roof of your mouth?
Oh, way too many. Over 100 for
all
sure.
of them.
It's all chewed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Favorite soda?
Ooh, I'm not a big soda guy, but I'll do Sprite.
Oh, you're going Sprite. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Teleportation.
Ooh, that's a good one, dude. Where would you teleport to? And don't say Mount Rushmore
Wherever.
or something.
Like I could just go to the Bahamas right now, and then bam, I could go to the river. Bam, I could go to the sand dunes. Just unlimited possibilities.
You're going to go to a voting booth near you?
Yeah.
Uggs or Crocs? Neither.
What was that?
Uggs or Crocs?
Ooh, Uggs.
You're going Uggs? So this is like a really hard topic on the show, like Uggs or Crocs. There's like people battle over this stuff all the time. And so Cody Sanders, who also co-hosts with me, he's like Uggs 24. So he just went to the dunes this weekend, had a good time over Halloween. But Lindsay Geyser wore Crocs with socks at the dunes. She did a demonstration of how you can just kick out all the sand and how comfy they were and how there was a lot of utilitarian use for these guys.
This is true.
So I sent the video over to Cody, and he didn't have much to say, man. I think we might have.
Did she go 4x?
She had it in 4x the whole time,
okay.
But I told her, I said, you're going to have to come and talk on the show about this subject because it's more.
I'm with Lindsay. I'm with Lindsay for sure. Uggs, hands down.
And she had tacos on her socks, too, so that was a huge win.
Did you see the dude on the full dress Harley in the Crocs?
Oh, I saw a guy going through Vail the other day with Crocs on a Harley.
It's like a viral thing going on right now. Some dude just getting all silly on this big old full-dressed Harley wearing Crocs. I don't know why it's
What,
so
did he
funny.
have pants or shorts, or like what was
Shorts. He's just big Bubba, just getting her done.
he wearing? Really?
It's
Dude,
great.
I'm into this guy. No wonder he's going viral. He's making everybody happy with his
Yeah,
Crocs.
totally.
All right, we already asked most memorable race. So what's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Mint chip.
I think that was RJ's too.
That's a pretty big one, actually.
I know. Did you hear Robert Blanton's last week on the show?
No, what did he say?
Oh my God, Strawberry Rendezvous. So I've been making so much fun of him. We bought a trailer from him last week, so I had to tow it back home. And he text messaged me. He's like, "What'd your dad think of the trailer?" I was like, "He hasn't seen it yet. Don't worry, I'm gonna go have a Strawberry Rendezvous with him tomorrow and show him."
That's perfect.
So anytime you see him, Ronnie, or talk to Robert, ask him if he's want to go on a Strawberry Rendezvous.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude.
How about ski or snowboard?
I'm actually have never done either, as weird as that sounds, but
Me neither.
snowboard.
Well, what do you do on the?
I feel like that's what I do.
What do you do on the lake? Ski or wake surf?
Wakeboard.
What about wake surf?
Wake surfing also. I actually really like wake surfing.
Is that hard?
Sounds like it.
I think it's easier than wakeboarding.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it like less pressure on your legs, or is it more pressure?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just don't like being strapped in, kind of on like the wakeboard. I don't know. I'm just not comfortable with it. But on the wake surf, you're not strapped in or anything, and it's just a lot more comfortable kind of to ride.
So you just kind of just pop up and then you can move around or do whatever.
Yep, exactly.
You're tall, bro. You got to take care of those knees. Trust me.
Dude, Casey's blown out every single ligament on his knees.
Every knee there
those
is.
Poor things. Hey, do you ride bicycles a lot, like mountain bikes and stuff, or no?
Yeah, I used to ride a lot. Actually, I haven't ridden almost all summer.
Robert just texted in.
Goes, it's been too hot.
Robert just commented in saying, "Yeah, Ronnie, ask me about Strawberry Rendezvous." Oh man, Rob, we had such a good time at the show last week, dude. Appreciate it.
Yes, thanks for the hat, Rob. Love it.
Yeah, did you see Casey sporting his Warfighter hat too? Dogs or cats?
Yeah. Dogs.
Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
You're going Netflix?
Yeah, I think so.
Dang, dude, YouTube's got some good stuff lately. Burrito or taco?
Burrito.
Ooh, really? What, you're going burrito for real?
What kind?
Yeah. Have you guys ever had like a really, really good Cali burrito?
I knew it.
Dude, we kind of had a feeling you were going to say that.
You're right. So long as they actually make fries and don't do some lame excuse for wet noodle fries, like bad potatoes.
No, yeah, I agree with you.
It's got to be.
I 100% agree with you.
Where are you going to get your California
have,
burritos at? Because I got to go to California tomorrow.
Really?
I'm going to be in Temecula for the next 4 days.
Maybe 10 minutes up the road. It's called Roberto's Taco Shop in Woodcrest up there. It's by an Albertsons, right off the 215 freeway and Van Buren.
Expect a text from me on Wednesday.
Okay, I'll send you the location.
It's
perfect.
not a Ralliberto's, is it?
No, it's not.
So it's one of the OGs, because these new ones are they're not the OGs.
They're the raw potato ones. They're disgusting.
No, it's it's just like a one-off mom and pop taco shop.
Do they have Strawberry Rendezvous?
Dude, Rob's gonna get shit for this for such a long time.
I
man.
love it. It's great.
We love you, Rob.
Supercross or motocross? I think I know.
Supercross.
Attaboy.
Really? Because you like works racing though, right?
I do love works racing, but for some reason when I sit down and watch a motocross race, I just get really tired.
I know.
I think what they do is absolutely gnarly.
Agreed.
I give it to them. I couldn't ride a motorcycle that fast for that long, that's for sure. But on those rough tracks and stuff, but I do like watching Supercross a lot better. I think the intensity is way gnarlier.
Actually, that's a good point, though.
Agreed.
That's why so many people like watching Lucas racing, and they could care less about watching a desert race.
Right. Agreed.
Because, So,
Too
all
much
right.
to keep track of.
Ooh, this is a good one. What other form of racing would you like to try? And hey, before you answer this, it doesn't have to just be F1. You can go boat racing, you go monster truck, like Tour de France, anything.
It could be figure 8.
Yeah, figure 8. Yeah,
in the limo.
Figure
with
8
a
limo.
trailer.
With a trailer. I wonder what trailer would you add if you were doing the figure 8 demo races in the limo?
It's got to be the Mickey Mouse one or the.
You got to go with like the OG camper.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Dude, how rad would that be? You'd have a pretty big target, though, because that freaking limo is a boat, dude. You'd have some stability in that bad boy, though, because if you got your trailer crushed, you could go backwards and back into people. You have so
you
much
could
room.
Whip it. Oh, man.
But, yeah, seriously, what form of racing would you like to try?
I think I would do offshore boat racing, hands down. Those guys just look so sick when they just air out the waves and stuff. I think that's just pretty badass.
Don't they have, like, 2 or 3 guys that control the boat, though?
Yeah, they have a spotter.
And a throttle
spotter,
man.
throttle guy, and a steer guy.
So that's for the offshore stuff, right? The big, giant, gnarly horsepower, get her done, yeah.
Do you want to try every position, or are you just going for, like, throttle guy?
Throttle guy would probably be pretty cool.
Dude, that would be cool. Yeah, but that's a lot of pressure, dude. Be the throttle guy.
For sure.
All right, Case, what's the last one?
So I think
which one do you want?
Well, I thought we had one that would work, but none of it does. We could do the hype.
Yeah, get the hype going for this last question.
For the last question of the night. This is actually the most important one. Remember, these are all profilers.
Dude, but I still feel like the hype song, like we need to download the MP3 of Kid Rock's "Ball with a ball to bang to be," like that needs to be our hype song. Dude,
that would be pretty
to
good
get people hyped up.
Definitely. What we need is a drum roll too.
Well,
this would be perfect.
And my dumbass has to figure out how to hook up all these cables to like make it so that our guests can hear these things too.
And get me a remote.
Yeah, get you a little like it's like those fart machines. Have you ever had like somebody else that controls it? And, like,
exactly. It's hard being the sidekick over here, Ronnie.
You got so many tasks in your job, dude. All right, what's the last question?
All right, here we go. I know he's ready. Chips and guacamole, fries and ketchup. Which one?
Yeah,
I'm gonna go chips and guacamole because I'm a big guacamole fan.
Yeah,
boy, all day long,
dude, all day long. But we can throw in, like, since he's Cali burrito guy, what about super fries or super nachos? Like,
that's pretty good.
Dude, super fries with the potatoes with guacamole and carne asada on them.
Yeah, those are really good. I'm not gonna lie. It's hard to beat because it's basically Cali burrito, but just no tortilla.
Opened up,
you know.
Yep.
No, it's called, dude. I'm speaking for Miles here. It's deconstructed California burrito.
Deconstructed.
Yeah,
got it.
Yeah. So, hey, bud, thanks for joining us, dude. We really appreciate it, man. Thanks for staying up so late with us. I know you've been working hard at the shop and doing all this stuff. We can't wait to see what's going on in 2021 with you guys and the team.
Yeah, no worries, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
hopefully I get to come back on again.
Absolutely. Yeah. Next time we'll have the car, the limo with the strawberry rendezvous.
Yeah, dude, all that stuff.
It's never stopping.
Poor Robert. Robert's a staple now with the strawberry rendezvous comment. Hey, so thanks again, man. So anybody that wants to check out what Ronnie's got going on, you can go to Ronnie Anderson 52 on Instagram. I'm sure he's got a Facebook page as well, but we're always promoting Instagram because we think it's the coolest. So hit him up and see what he's got going on. They always have fun content. And yeah, so do you want to thank anybody before we bail?
Oh, man, no, just thank you guys, and just special thanks to my brother. That always helps me out, and all of our partners that help us chase our dreams.
Yeah, for sure. And thank you to all of the fans, too, because I know there's a lot of supporters and a lot of our audience members that go out and support you at the races and come say hi and stuff, too. So we love all those guys for being our lifeblood for the show and for all the racing efforts. So thanks again, Ronnie. We really appreciate it, bud. We hope you have a good night.
Yeah, right on. See you guys.
Later.
Take care.
Man, that was super cool. It's so fun to see when people have such a good attitude about racing. There's so much stress that goes on. Like Ronnie just kind of skirted it a little bit, but there's so much stuff that happens behind the scenes to make these racing efforts come to fruition.
No doubt.
And it's super cool to see that he has such a level head. He's so appreciative of the stuff, and he's genuinely happy to do it.
Yeah, you can tell. There's nothing fake about it.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you guys very, very much for joining us. I didn't thank our sponsors directly at the beginning of the show, so I want to thank them now. Thank you to the guys at Shock Therapy for always being there for us. Justin and I had some funny conversations today, and we're going to do some funny stuff coming up. But you guys can go to the shocktherapist.com, use the code DIRTLIFE, save a whole bunch of money. You can also call them up and just talk to any of the guys up front and tell them that the Dirt Life sent you, save a whole bunch of money on your rad improvement systems or any of the parts that they make. We know a bunch of people actually texted me saying they were using the code and having a good time.
And Tyrone, he's going to figure it out and go use it too.
Dude, that's super cool, man. So thanks to everybody for supporting the guys that support us. Thank you to the guys at KMC. The guys at KMC Wheels, man, they make such awesome products. I was able to go to lunch and have a good conversation with Ryan and Ryan of KMC Wheels and EFX Tires. So we got some cool stuff coming up with them in the next couple months. It's going to be awesome to keep that relationship going. Zollinger Racing Products. Go to ZollingerRacingProducts.com and use the code DIRTLIFE. Save, like I say it all the time, man. Those guys are elevating the product game in UTVs, man. So the stuff that they do is phenomenal. Thank you very much to the guys at Solderweld. You can use the code DIRTLIFE over at solderweld.com. Get an off-road repair kit. Those things are insane good. Like, I saw so many people post stories about breaking down at the sand dunes. If they just had this kit in their UTV, they could have made it back to camp by the time they had dinner was ready. So go get your own Solderweld off-road repair kit and throw it in the back of your UTV so you can make it home and save your race or save your ride. Again, thank you to everybody for joining us. You guys are, like I said, our lifeblood. If you guys ever want to Strawberry Rendezvous, please message Robert Blanton of Warfighter Made. Slide into his DMs on Instagram. So next week's guest, man, we're going to have a special guest in the studio. So I don't know if you're going to have time to come, but you're more than welcome to come hang out. Brooke Demon is coming in. She's a female off-road racer. She's been doing a fantastic job. She's been getting some opportunities to race for some larger teams, and she also has her own program. I met her through Justin at Shock Therapy when we were up there doing some of the RS1 project stuff. So she's got a fantastic family, super supportive of her, so it's really cool to see. And they're supportive of her enough. They're going to drive 8 hours to come into the studio and hang out.
Cool.
So it's pretty cool that they're giving her the opportunity to pursue her dreams like that. So we can't wait till Brooke comes into the studio. We're going to see her whole story. Thank you to all of you guys for joining us. We really appreciate it. Thank you to all of our guests. Thanks, James Jaramillo. Thank you, Steve Westfall, for taking time away from his boys at the BMX track.
Yeah, that's cool.
Thank you very much to Tanner for coming on and talking about his dirt life and sharing his stories with us. And, of course, thank you very much to Ronnie Anderson. And I really appreciate you coming in and hanging out, Case.
You know what we didn't talk about?
What?
I'm super stoked on this.
Oh, yeah. So
there's so much to it. Like, if I just look at it, it means so much.
For anybody that's listening to the audio version of it, Casey was, we have the Warfighter Perseverance Award in the studio. Thank you very much to Robert and the whole crew for, we give Robert so much shit about the Strawberry Rendezvous, but the stuff that he's doing, man, is phenomenal. Like, he's helping out so many people, and this changed my life. Getting this award is so amazing. Cool. I forgot exactly how he represents it, but he said it's the word that everybody wants but nobody wants to earn, something like that.
Oh, that's a good one.
He's very true when he says that. Like, you don't want to have a Perseverance Award because you don't want to fight adversity, right?
Right.
But it's meaningful to see this thing, and I told you a little bit about what it means, and there's people that donate all the parts to this award. And for anybody, like I said, if you're looking at or listening to this on iTunes, it's a custom-made award, and you'd be missing out if you weren't looking at it on one of our live feeds. I'll see if I can post a picture on our Instagram or something. But if you don't get to see it, check out the YouTube feed, and you can look at the award. But Carew Racing Engines donates all the parts. A warfighter builds the award and makes it. Does their own creativity, and each individual part has its own significance. You know, like there's he's got a shield with a warfighter shield.
Yep.
You can tilt his head up and down so that you can walk with your head down and just focus on what you are, or you can tilt your head up to if you're having a good day and you want to have your head up and show everybody that you're strong and good-willed. And one of the most significant parts of the Perseverance Award is that it's made by veterans, but it's also to commemorate veterans too. So on the bottom of the award, some of these rods that are piston and crank rods have initials of the warfighters or the veterans that passed away over the last year. So it's really got a lot of significance. And the stuff that Rob is doing and the things that he is making meaningful for normal civilians like us is phenomenal, dude.
Absolutely.
It's super cool. And it's heavy and cool as shit, right?
It is not moving.
So thank you guys very much for all the warfighter guys for inviting me out to the adrenaline therapy session and presenting me with this award last week. It was super cool. So if you guys haven't seen last week's episode, go back and check it out. It was really cool to be over there at the warfighter shop and do a little makeshift studio and have some fun with those guys.
Absolutely. And the only question I have for Robert on this thing is which position would I put this in for Strawberry Rendezvous?
You're going to have your head down for Strawberry Rendezvous because you're going to have to be focusing on that goodness.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, so, yeah, like I said, thank you. Hey, one thing I was going to ask you before we hang up the show is, have you been riding two wheels?
I haven't.
I know.
There's too much going on.
Too much work?
And
too much life?
Too much life, yeah. Every time I look at my bike, I'm bummed out. I start it every now and again.
The 450?
Yeah, and then it makes the garage stink, and then it gets on my clothes, and everybody gets mad at me because I smell like a garage.
You go in the house, you're all excited. Yeah, I started it up, and they're like, no, get out. Change your clothes.
Yeah, hopefully soon.
All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. We really appreciate it. Like I said, join us next week. We got Brooke Demon in the studio. Huh?
Chin down, he says. Thank you. Thank you, brother.
Chin down for Strawberry Rendezvous.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks, Rob, for everything you do, man. We really appreciate it. We are actually going to have a video releasing this week of the adrenaline therapy session for the Warfighter guys.
Nice.
It's phenomenal to see, man. And Rob Mack came out to that, too. And it's just cool to see, man. Everybody loves living their life in the dirt. So, all right. Thank you guys very much. Really appreciate it. We will see you guys next week. We love you. Good night.
Thanks for listening to The Dirt Life Show.